Hello everybody and welcome to the world famous Nürburgring circuit right here in Germany. My name is Matze Brandt. I'm going to host you to the next couple of hours while we contest the Gran Turismo World Tour European Open Nations Cup Final. Hello everybody. Yes. Oh yeah, it's worth an applause. This is a hell of a word, I can tell you. It's such a pleasure to be here right at the Nürburgring while the 24 hours race taking place. It started 7 hours ago, and I was looking seconds ago in the lead. There is a Porsche 911 GT3R at the moment, but it's still 24 hours of racing, and it's the Nürburgring with the famous Nordschleife called Green Hell as well, and it's 17 hours left, so we'd never know what is about to happen. What we do know is what is going to happen right here at the Gran Turismo Arena. What we have here tonight is a precursor of the FIA Certified Gran Turismo Championships. So, if you haven't done already, just go into in-game to the Gran Turismo Sports. Put your PS4 on, head into sports mode and take place and enter the pre-season competition which is running right now. On 1st of June you will get further more information when the Gran Turismo Championships full season goes live. Since you realize, guys, that we are in Germany and there's a whole lot of crowd in our booth, I'll have to translate a bit. So, right now I gotta talk German. Meine Lieben, schön, dass ihr alle da seid. Wir machen das auf Deutsch und Englisch und ich versuche euch jetzt nochmal auf Deutsch das zu sagen, was ich eben auf Englisch nicht gesagt habe. Also, wir sind super stolz und glücklich, dass wir hier sind zum 24-Stunden-Rennen. Wir freuen uns wahnsinnig, dass dieses großartige Rennen hier mit uns gemeinsam stattfindet und dass wir daneben unsere FIA-zertifizierte Gran Turismo Championships vorstellen können. Was wir machen, ist ein wahnsinnig spannendes Rennen auf die Beine stellen und wir freuen uns total. Falls ihr das noch nicht gesehen habt, dann geht in das Spiel Gran Turismo Sport in den Sports Mode. Da könnt ihr an den Pre-Season-Wettkämpfen teilnehmen. Und mehr Informationen gibt es dann am 1. Juni, wenn die FIA-zertifizierten Gran Turismo Championships mit der Saison live gehen. So, und als nächstes werden wir euch zeigen, was dieses Spiel kann. Wir haben 30 von Europas besten Spielern eingeladen, die jetzt und hier heute Abend gegeneinander antreten. Donnerstag haben wir sie schon in die Vorausscheidung gesteckt und wie das war, zeigen wir euch jetzt gleich in einem kleinen Film. So, to showcase what's to come, we invited 30 of the best European racers and we put them on Thursday into qualifying races, and what happened there we will show you right now.
Just say your breath. I love your words, feel like a jail. It blocks the sun and makes me stale. Not enough gold in all the world, so why have I surrendered to your abusive ways? The cracks have opened up to the core.
That was a very exciting evening with the fastest qualifier and the top 3 from each group competing and progressing to the Nations Cup final tonight. So we actually have 10 racers competing tonight against each other, and what we also have is a fantastic group of 10 commentators who are providing a YouTube stream tonight with 5 different languages. So let's say hello to those guys. Hello YouTube, and hello to our commentators from Italy. It's Andrea e Emilio. Hello guys. From Spain we have Alberto over here. Hi Alberto. From France it's Donald et Fabien. Salut. From Germany, Renee and Toby. Hi, good to have you guys. And of course, our UK guys, Chris and Jimmy. Good to see you.
How you doing?
And Jimmy, while I'm here, let's have a quick word with Jimmy. The UK commentary, by the way, is live on Twitch, so hi on Twitch, everybody. Jimmy, based on the last couple of days, what do you think can we expect for tonight?
Well, we've had some great racing. We had 3 races just
fantastic racing in all three, very fair and very courteous. And of course, we've now got the best racers from those races are now going to be all together in this one big exciting climax. So it's going to be a great show for you guys. So I hope you're all comfy. Don't go away. It's going to be great.
Now I know you are quite handy on Gran Turismo as well. So do you think you could compete with those guys over there?
Maybe in my dreams, a little bit. Not sure, but no, probably not.
Okay, he's afraid of what he's seen on Thursday. It was amazing. Thursday night's qualifying races. We have to look at them again. Hello everybody, please let me welcome you to the first Gran Turismo World Tour event 2018 right here at the Nürburgring.
Oh, Jimmy, he came and spoke to you finally.
Finally, made the long journey down here to the British booth. Very good of him to do that, wasn't it? Nice to see Maxa. But yeah, you're seeing right now some highlights from the semi-final, Chris.
First of all, welcome to the stream, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Myself, Chris McCarthy, and as you just heard from Jimmy Broadbent, bringing you the coverage today. So, of course, this is the Nations Cup final. Before we go into the final, let's take a look at what happened in the semi-final on Thursday. The 30 drivers were split into 3 different groups, Jimmy, and they were racing in these cars. They qualified, of course, they were split into their groups, then they had a qualifying session, and then they had one race with the top 3 going through as well as the fastest qualifier. First of all, what are these cars they're driving?
Now, these are the X2014 cars. You might know these cars. They look very similar to the X2010 car as designed by Red Bull Racing, as you knew, but these are a small version of that. Not much straight line speed, but a lot of downforce. You're seeing that here. Lots of very late moves need to be made to get past in these things. That's Lenoir just going past Garnier there. The French sort of dominated this split here, and it came to a very exciting climax, Chris.
Well, yeah, at this stage of the race, we had just under 3 laps to go, and the 3 French drivers were 1, 2, and 3. But there on screen, that was Vincenzo Mangano, the Italian, looking to put a stop to that with the countrymen up ahead, all going side by side with each other. It then came down to the last chicane, and Garnier out front picked up a penalty for cutting the chicane. That led the cars to go 3 wide going into the final corner of the final lap. Everything was up for grab. Garnier was dropping down the field. He dropped to 2nd, he dropped to 3rd, and at the line, guess what happened? As they came up to the line, he dropped to 4th, didn't he? And Garnier's dreams of making it to the final were over. The top 3 went through, and for Garnier, he is now watching in the audience.
Yeah, I remember him throwing his gloves to the floor after that finish, and I would too after that. That was basically him losing his place in the final. So what would you expect other than that reaction?
How was the race from your point of view? It was
one.
super exciting from us as like the audience.
Yeah, it was incredible. 8 laps of battle. I start with Pierre in front. I think we made the race together, but behind they have a good speed, so they come back to us, and we have a fight with 4, 5. So it was really close. And there is 2, 3 times I thought that I will lose the rear and lose the race, but I keep on the road, and I'm really happy for the next round. It's incredible. Thank you.
Well, before Matza rudely interrupted me there, what I was going to say is Pierre Lenoir also picked up a penalty in that race, it's worth noting, which is why he dropped to 5th. But then we went into the 2nd semi-final, and the Portuguese driver Ferreira getting a bad start, and that led Williams to get into the lead. Ed Williams into the lead down towards turn number 1. Nikolai, though, in this one, Jimmy, a very fast starter going up to 4th place early doors.
Yeah, went from 6th to 4th place, so a great start for him, of course. A reminder, only the top 3 in each race would progress to the final, so it was all to play for at this point. Here was Rodriguez, someone who probably had the biggest story of this race. We'll get into why in a minute. Here's him having a little bit of action here with Nikolai coming around to this very sweeping right hand. Very important to get this right. You see Nikolai getting a little bit loose on the exit and getting a little bit sideways, losing speed, and that allowed Rodriguez through into 4th.
Of course, this was their only chance to make it through to the final. They had to finish in the top 3, and they only had 8 laps to do that. So for Rodriguez, he had to get on with it quickly. Out front, Williams was looking comfortable for a while, but then after his poor start to the race, Ferreira began to close in, but at that point, he cut across the first corner, and that unfortunately would lead Ferreira, as you can see now, to pick up a penalty. So Ferreira thought he had thrown his chances away, as he was now down to 4th place, with Rodriguez going into 3rd behind Grady. Rodriguez by far the quickest driver on track at this moment in time.
Yeah, he was very smooth and very consistent. And at that point in time, he was trying to actually harry his countryman, Williams, in first there. But for the most part, they were just there. And of course, this led to this moment with Rodriguez pushing as hard as he could to try and catch the pair, spun the car out, lost his chance to be in the final.
Yeah, but up front, there were no mistakes from Williams, who took the win from Grady. Ferreira got away with that penalty, coming across the line to finish 3rd.
So how was it?
Just for start was the most important bit, so I got a better start than pole, and from there I just tried to keep a smooth line and smooth race.
In the last rounds, how's that feeling? They're behind you and like chasing you. Do you feel comfortable in that situation, or is it more like, oh damn it, don't make a mistake?
Normally you'd feel a bit of pressure, but the guy behind me is from my country, so I thought maybe he'd go a bit more easier on me than if it was someone else.
Well, then we came into this final race, and it's worth noting Blazan to the right of screen qualified pole overall with his time, which meant he was going through regardless. So it was the top 3 in this race that would go through, including, and Blazan as well as that. So 4 drivers would go through in this final race. Kasikert tried to be a hero at turn 1, and it almost went wrong for him as he tried to go up the middle of 2 cars, Jimmy, and got away with it on that instance.
Indeed, and of course, while there was squabbling going on behind, it was Blajan and Kimo Keisler at the head of the field actually squabbling themselves for the first position. Of course, at this point, Blajan had already gone through, so it looked like he was just sort of playing with Keisler, just sort of trying to understand how the Finnish driver was planning to approach this event. And here we go, a bit further down the field, we had Kevin Ridgely and Bushman fighting for the 3rd position. Now watch Ridgely here. He goes all the way round the outside of Bushman. I can imagine the look of Bushman's face when that happened.
Yeah, devastation, I think, as Keisler out front had Patrick Blajan doing similar things as they went down towards the chicane. The Hungarian taking the lead as they went through. Keisler wasn't fighting him too hard, and you couldn't blame him for that as they went up to the line to start the 4th lap round the last corner they would go. And at this moment in time, it was Blajan, Keisler, Ridgely and Bushman going through. But the race was far from over, and Keisler would fight back on Blajan, going into the left-hander, trying to go all the way round the outside, and that yet again, another move being made round the outside, Jimmy. There were fantastic overtakes in this last race.
There was, well, of course, this fight with Blajan and Keisler went down, well, pretty much to the wire here on lap 5. Blajan going up the inside of T1, very popular overtaking spot, and of course, these two slowing each other up actually allowed Ridgely behind to get involved as well. He tried going up the inside of Blajan here, actually biffed him a little bit wide onto the artificial grass. Blajan held it well, and then of course these guys fighting, guess who's there? Bushman in the background as well.
Yeah, and Ridgely was now up into 2nd place, but only briefly, as Blajan there almost taking out the Finn Keisler. Keisler in the end was just able to hold on, but he now had Ridgely to deal with to his outside as they came down towards the left-hander for the 5th time, and Keisler that time not letting Ridgely go around the outside. Bushman was there, Blajan was there, Rasic in 5th place was having to deal with the likes of Kolonen, but out front it was Keisler who would take the win from Patrick Blajan. In 3rd place was Bushman, and there was a scare for the driver in 4th with Kevin Ridgely picking up a penalty, but his gap over Rasic of 6 seconds would mean he'd just go through.
So how was the race for you?
It was tough. It was really tough. I got passed in the first corner, and then we switched places a couple times with the Hungarian guy, and then it was just, they were just trying to get me basically.
Did you feel like secure because the Hungarian guy already set the pole, the fastest lap, so he is already in, and you would, even if you were 4th, you would have made it to the finals?
I was just trying my own race, trying not to think anything really.
You did that pretty well. Congratulations and applause for Kimo Keisler. Thank you. It is so exciting, and it really feels to me like a new era for motorsports. I'm so impressed by the races of the last few days that we do have to have a quick word with that man who made all this possible. Meine Lieben, ich möchte euch den Mann vorstellen, der das hier alles möglich gemacht hat, nämlich den Entwickler und Erfinder von Gran Turismo. So here is the creator of Gran Turismo. Please, a big hand for Kazunori Yamauchi. Hello, good to have you here. So come on over here, please. Come over here, please. Yamauchi-san, good to have you here. How is your feeling about this Gran Turismo World Tour event at the Nürburgring?
僕は、このグランツーリスモという作品はもう素晴らしいプレイヤーの皆さんがいないと完成しないと思ってたんですね。でこの数日間の、レースをトッププレイヤーの皆さんのレースを見ていて本当に感動して素晴らしいスポーツマンシップ素晴らしいテクニックでようやくグランツーリスモが完成したんじゃないかっていうそんな気がしています。
So, working on this title and piece of work called Gran Turismo over the years, I always thought that without great players, it would never be complete. And seeing the sportsmanship and the technique and the skill of the drivers over the last few days, I really think we've reached a point where Gran Turismo is finally complete.
Okay, so Yamauchi-san, thank you for being here and inventing this unbelievable game. Oh man, I'm looking so forward to the next season. And now it's time to welcome on stage our 10 finalists, ladies and gentlemen. Also unsere 10 Finalisten werden wir jetzt begrüßen. Please give a big applause to our first finalist. In seat number 1, Kevin from Germany. Das ist Kevin aus Deutschland. Hallo mein Lieber. Dich muss ich direkt fragen, auf einer Skala von 1 bis 10, wie aufgeregt bist du?
11.
11, okay. I asked him on a scale from 1 to 10 how excited he is. He said 11. Okay, race number 2, Anthony from France. Hello, good to have you here. Thank you. Tarek from Germany on seat number 3. This is number 4, Giorgio from Italy. Patrick from Hungary on racing seat number 5. Number 6, Angelo from the Netherlands. Hello. Of course, Kimmo from Finland on the 7. It's on number 8, Edward from Great Britain. Edward, did you prepare in a special way for this race?
Just the practice this morning, tried to do the best I can today.
Eat something special?
Just for normal food from a hotel.
Okay, nothing so excited. Thank you for being here. Bruno on number 9 from Portugal. Thank you, Bruno. And of course, Martin from Great Britain as well. Have a seat. And while the guys are getting ready, let's take a look at the format for tonight's racing. So, it's gonna be on the screen in a second. Jetzt schauen wir uns mal das Rennformat für heute Abend an. We're going to have 4 races. Each race, the players will score points with the final race counting as double points. Also, wir haben 4 Rennen. In jedem werden die Spieler Punkte erreichen. Das letzte Rennen bringt doppelte Punkte. We'll have a qualifying session for race number 1, but for the following races, the grid will be decided by the previous race result. Also, wir haben eine qualifying session am Anfang. Danach wird das jeweilige Grid von dem Ergebnis des Vorrennens entschieden. We'll be using a variety of cars and tracks with the gamers visiting the Nürburgring GP track, the Interlagos, Monza and a final at the beautiful Lake Maggiore in Italy. Also, wir werden verschiedene Autos und Tracks haben, unter anderem eben den Nürburgring GP Track, Interlagos, Monza und den Lago Maggiore. Und we are ready to go, I think. So let me hand over to our fantastic team commentators to talk us through the race qualifying. Let's go, guys.
Thank you, Matza. Well, there we can see the point system for this evening. So how is it all going to work, I hear you ask? Well, this is the Nations Cup final. There will be points where we will have 4 different races. The drivers will score points in all of those. As you can see, the 4th race will be double points. So just while they are going out for practice, I will just give you exactly how the point system is going to work this evening. So as I said, 4 different races. They will qualify for the first race, which they will do very shortly. The winner will score 12 points, second place will score 10 points, third 8 points, and then it goes down to 1 point for the driver in 10th place. The second race, well, the grid will be formed from the result of the first race. The third race, the grid will be set from the result of the second race, and so on. As for the final race, the points will be doubled. So first place will score 24 points, second 20 points, third 16 points, fourth 14 points, fifth 12 points, sixth, 10 points, and then it goes down in twos with 10th place scoring 2 points. So it's not going to be over until it is over, Jimmy. What do you think of the format then? Of course, it does mean of course, we were talking about the idea of there just being a final race where it was all or nothing, but I think this gives drivers a chance to be consistent, show their consistency over 4 races at 4 different tracks in 4 different cars.
Well, it means you have to be doing well in every race for you to, well, stand a chance to win at the end. If, for example, you're coming last in the first 2 or 3 races, or maybe low down the order, even winning in the last race, it might elevate you up, of course, but you won't have any chance of really winning. So it does mean the drivers, of course, will be, well, they'll be focusing a little bit on the last race, but these first 3 races count just as much.
So, in the event of a tie, by the way, it will go down to who finishes further ahead in the final race. So, the final race is going to be very, very crucial, not only for those double points, but also for track position as well. So, we'll keep bringing you the points as the races go on. But let's go in then to this first race and talk about who is in which car. So, as you would have already been able to work out, we are going to be racing at the Nürburgring GP track. We've got a 10-minute qualifying and then a 6-lap race, which we'll estimate to be 14 minutes. They will need to do 1 pit stop as the fuel consumption is at 10 times, and they are on the hard tyre with 4 times tyre wear. But Jimmy, why don't you talk us through the cars they're all in?
Okay, sure. We'll start then with the man in the seat 1, Mr. Kevin Ridgely, and he's in the Nissan GTR Group 4. And the thing about the Group 4 cars is they have the same drivetrain as they would have coming out the factory. So this GTR is 4-wheel drive, so watch for that off the start line. Anthony Deval is in the seat number 2. He's in the BMW M4 rear-wheel drive, of course. Tarek Bushman is in the McLaren 650S with Giorgio Mangano in the Renault Megane. Now, of course, we've had a lot of people talking about the Megane and its front-wheel drive and maybe struggling a little bit. In the front-wheel drive car, but we've been told that the Megane actually races very well in this field, so keep an eye on that during this race. We have Patrick Blachan in the Mercedes SLS AMG, Angelo Schut in the Porsche Cayman GT4 with Kimo Kaiser the Thin in the Toyota 86. Edward Williams, our Brit in the final with the Lamborghini, or our first of 2 Brits, I should say, with the Lamborghini Huracan. And Bruno Ferreira in the Audi TT Cup, with Martin Grady taking the last car, the VW Scirocco Group 4. And I remember him telling me that he wasn't too happy with the car he got, just because of, well, where he qualified in the end, but he said he's going to give it his best go anyway.
Yep, well, that's all the cars for you in a bit of detail from Jimmy there, as we can see on screen, Deval and Ridgely. Well, how important is the qualifying session for this first race when we have 4 of them? Well, very important. If you get a bad qualifying, then there's a good chance you're not going to score great points in this first race. As well as that, of course, the grid for the second race is formed of the result from this first race. So it can create an on-running trend, which will mean you are constantly chasing your way up the order. So really, this qualifying session is very, very important. But let's forget the drivers for 1 second, Jimmy. The cars. What's your money on in terms of the cars? Let's put the drivers to one side and let's go with the cars as themselves. Guys, if you're watching, send us your comments. Let us know what your favourite car you're seeing out on track is. Let us know which car you'd be in. But Jimmy, what's your favourite?
You know, I love an underdog. I don't know about you. I love.
Oh, we all do.
So I'm going to go with the VW Scirocco. That's going to be my pick for the race.
Right.
Front-wheel drive VW Beast. How about you, Chris?
I don't know. I'll go. You know what? I will go for the Nissan.
Well, that's an easy choice. That one is easy choice. I just wanted to say, by the way,
I'm no expert though. So.
Oh, no, you know, I just wanted to say on what you were saying just before about constantly chasing points. Of course, remember these races are sprint races. This is only a 6-lap race here today.
Yep.
You get a poor start, and of course, the quality of the field here, you're going to be just left chasing for the entirety of the race. And if you're pushing hard, you're making more mistakes. The guys are going to need 1 pit stop here. So pushing hard on worn tyres when you're a bit further down, that leads to mistakes. We saw that with Rodriguez actually in the semi-final.
Yeah.
So that could happen to one of our drivers here, and I'm sure they're very much aware of that.
That is a very, very good point, actually. They've got to make sure as well that they're kind of pacing themselves, because 4 races is quite a lot of time to be out on those rigs with this huge crowd. Of course, you watching online and the huge crowd that has surrounded our stand here to watch the Nations Cup final. But we will talk more about that as the time goes on, as we now go into qualifying, of course. Final 4 minutes to go. We haven't really seen, I don't think, the times that are going to be setting the pole position just yet, but at the moment we'll call it as we see it. Kevin Rishley leading the way, Patrick Blazan second, Vincenzo Mangano third, Kimo Keisler is fourth, Tom Bushman is fifth, Bruno Ferreira is sixth, then it is Scoot in seventh place. Scoot is a Dutch driver, by the way, not French, just want to correct that one for you. Ed Williams is eighth, Anthony Duval is ninth, and then Martin Grady is 10th, as we are seeing those expected pit stops. Jimmy, what are we doing here then, just for the guys who maybe haven't been following the stream so far this weekend?
Okay, so we spoke to the drivers after the first practice session and we saw this sort of thing going on, so we asked, okay, what are you guys doing? And they were saying the best strategy for qualifying is to do an outlap, do a hot lap, come back into the pits, change tyres, do another outlap, and just try and get out there for the last. The last hot lap is the most important one, because these guys start with 100% fuel. They come down as the qualifying session goes on, so the car gets lighter. We want to be on the best tyres possible. And of course, we have a 4 times tyre wear in this race, so that means basically 1 lap for these guys is 4 laps for the tyres. So being on the right tyre and being on the light fuel load is where you want to be. We're currently watching Grady right now. He's not actually set a lap as of yet, so he's out there trying to do that now. See the row of drivers there, Grady and Grady Ferreira just at the end there. Now, this is the front-wheel drive car which it gradient, so these things are prone to a little bit of power understeer, or torque steer as some people will call it, so watch out for that characteristic, but these are also very quick in a straight line. Right, well, let's see what Grady can do now. He's out there on a hot lap, so he was flashing the lights there just to try and warn someone ahead of him that he is coming up quickly. This is Williams coming up through the Schumacher S's now, and Williams not really going to be challenging Rishley for pole position, not on this lap anyway. He will get one more though. Anthony Duval now coming up through the S's in the BMW there. Let's see how he is going through the splits if we stay with him. Who is it he's been following? He's being followed by, that's Rishley. Then you can see Ferreira in the background, and Grady is behind that as we approach the back straight. Anthony Duval on screen for you there in the rig. Let's see what he does through the second sector. 1.1 off. We've yet to set a lap at the moment, so he doesn't come across the line and get this done, but it seems like he's not actually left himself any time after this lap to do another, so it's going to be this lap or nothing for Duval, and so far it's not going too well. We go back to Grady now on his hot lap, another guy not to actually set a time at this point. Let's watch him through the chicane, see how he does. Lots of curb, they all have to do that. Now getting on the throttle after that is very difficult. The car is unsettled, the front wheels are struggling for traction at the same time as steering, but Grady handles it well. You'd expect that from one of the Europe's best GT Sport drivers. Comes across the line now, but Duval goes into 6th position in the BMW, so not a bad effort from him. Grady goes up to 4th place in that Scirocco. What a lap from Grady. Yeah, good time now from Grady. That puts him into 4th place then behind Rishley, Blazan and Mangano as well. Here comes Kevin Rishley. Can he improve his time as he comes up towards the start-finish line? And no, he does not improve. In fact, he's just come out the pit. So here he goes for a flyer, Kevin Rishley. We only have 30 seconds left on the clock now. It looks like Williams is in the pits. Now, that seems very unusual when we have literally no time left. No, I think he's just, I think that's his qualifying done. Look at the concentration on Rishley's face. I must say, I do like the look of that GTR in that blue. That looks very pretty indeed. Now, of course, these Group 4 cars, they are similar-ish spec cars actually racing in the real-life Nürburgring 24, just about 100 metres away from us. So we're just watching Ritchie now come through. We have Mangano in front at the moment. Will we hold him up? I'm unsure. He's going back to Duval. Can he improve in his time? He is up in his time, but still 8 tenths down on Ritchie. Well, Williams, sorry for him
briefly being shown in 10th place. He is in 5th place, so that has now corrected itself. 206.479 for Williams, but that's the end of the session, and it looks like in front of a German crowd here at the Nürburgring. We are in the Ring Boulevard on the start-finish straight whilst the 24-hour race is going on, and it looks like the local fans are going to be very, very happy because their man Kevin Rishley currently leading the session. However, here comes Patrick Blashan. Can he do anything about the time of Kevin Rishley? Let's stay with the Hungarian as he comes through the last corner. Get on the power nice and smoothly out the last corner. Now up the gears, that look perfect as we go up towards the line. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Blashan takes pole position right at the last minute. 205.097. Oh, Kevin Rishley's off. He's ruined any chance he has of taking pole position. Bushman has gone up to 3rd place, and he's got a penalty as well for good measure. Well, Rishley, that's that done, pushing as hard as ever, and it's very easy to happen as Mangano now goes up to 3rd place. Mangano up to 3rd. Brilliant performance by the Italian.
Well, there you go. If you were in some sort of doubt that the front-wheel drive cars were in any way hindered here, there you being disproved. It's up there in 3rd place. Here is Blashan, of course, our top qualifier from the semis, doing it again here in the final.
He did indeed, Patrick Blashan. 2nd as well. It was 2nd in the Nations Cup qualifier race, 1st overall in qualifying. And now he's going to be on pole position going in towards race number 1. Rishley will be 2nd, Mangano 3rd, and then it will be Bushman, Duval, Grady, Kaiser, Williams, Scoot, and Ferreira. I think very shortly we're going to hand over to our host, Matza, who will be down there to catch up, I'm sure, with a very happy Patrick Blashan. But it did look like an almighty lap from him, and he's gotten off to a perfect start here, with some of them just still finishing some laps. I think probably just extra practice now more than anything else. As I believe our host, Matza, is now ready for us.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we have our top 3. On position number 3, it's Mangano. 2nd position is the German Rishley, and on pole is Blashan. So I think there's nothing more to say. Let's go racing, everybody. This is why we are here for. So let's get to the action. Here's race number 1.
Well, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. The Nations Cup final. This is the first of 4 races. We are here at the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. We are in the Ring Boulevard building on the start-finish straight, and hundreds of you are watching online, even more so gathered around the stand. And we are getting ready to watch 10 of Europe's best GT Sport players race in the first of 4 races in the Nations Cup final. It's 10 p.m. local time here in Germany, so the cars outside are buzzing around in the evening. The drivers have been waiting all day for this, Jimmy, but now it is almost time to get going.
They have, and like you've just seen them, the nervous energy with every driver is, it's almost contagious being next to them, but just walking down the grid here. Interesting to see Kaiser so far down there in 7th place. But this, the first race, of course, we have 4 races tonight. First 3 normal points, the last one is double points, so all to play for in that race, of course, here at Nürburgring GP circuit, T1, very important. Let's see what they do.
4 races, don't ruin it all at turn 1, guys. Right, Blashan is to your right, to the left is Rishley. This will be a 6-lap race with 1 pit stop. We're expecting Rishley to fly away at the start here to the left, so watch out for him in that Nissan GTR. Here we go then, and we're off away in racing, and as expected, Kevin Rishley going straight into the lead. Blashan trying to go with him, and it looks as if Ed Williams in the Lamborghini got a fantastic start, and he is flying down into 3rd place. Ed Williams trying to go into 3rd place here. They're side by side. Patrick Blashan trying to take the lead back from Kevin Rishley. It looks as if Tom Bushman has gone into 3rd place. Vincenzo Mangano now going into 4th. So Ed Williams' fantastic start start was short-lived as now Mangano now trying to take third away from Bushman. Up ahead, there is Patrick Blashan, and he's kept Rishley very honest at the start, I think it's fair to say. Did you expect an even better start from the Nissan than that?
A little bit, yes. I'm very surprised to see Blashan still there, keeping that Nissan honest. And of course, Nissan might be fast off the grid, but it's slower on the straight. So watch out for this AMG coming down to the Dunlop hairpin. Now we're on board with Williams after a good start, although he settles now in 5th position, looking at the back of Bushman in the McLaren, coming down to the hairpin now, just trying to get into that inside curb. Don't touch it though, these cars are quite skittish when you touch the curb. Up on the left there, Bushman just grabbing a little bit of gravel, that would have slowed him down a little bit, but now up to the Schumacher rest. Look how much curb these guys are taking through here and just how smooth they are. They put me to shame doing this.
Of course, we had our commentators race earlier and it was definitely nothing like this. Now we need to do one pit stop, Jimmy. When do we think they're going to do that? What would be the best strategy in your opinion?
I think coming at the halfway point in this, so on the end of lap 3, fuel is not going to be added in this race, or what I can see here anyway on my sheet. Just going back to the race, Mangano then looks to the inside of Blashan, the front wheel drive car. Look how much speed that McGann has in the straight line. Looks up the inside. Blashan covers him off over the curbs. Nice, okay. Did Mangano get a penalty there? He was very, very sharp on the curbs.
I think he backed out of it just enough to get away with it. Rishley is in a lead of 1.5 seconds. Just around that, may just be a little bit less now. They're coming onto the start-finish straight. But Mangano, how quick is he looking in these early stages? Vincenzo Mangano, can he take second? Going down towards turn number 1 for the second time. He's going to look to the inside. Here we are, we're on board with him. Blashan to our left. Oh, don't make contact, guys. And good driving from the pair of them there. Mangano in the end, just about staying in 3rd place. Blashan doing a good job to hold on to 2nd. Bushman still there in 4th place. Williams in 5th. Jimmy, has anyone surprised you for good or bad reasons at the start of this race?
I was about to say, that's the first time I've seen Blashan look flustered this entire weekend. He is on the limit right now, being carried by Mangano there in that little McGann. But of course, while this is happening, Ridgely is pulling away in front, almost contact there with Blashan. So much better on the brakes, but now he's going to have to run down to the hairpin. He's going to pull to the right-hand side, your left, coming down to the hairpin. He's on the inside now. He's got a corner panel on the AMG. Here we go, on the brakes late. Up the inside goes Mangano. Can Blashan do anything about that? No, he can't. Mangano up into 2nd place.
Right, now into 2nd. All attention focused on Rishley up ahead. Mangano flying through the Schumacher S's. We're on board with Blashan, who's trying to chase him down. Bushman will be hoping this battle continues for just a little bit longer. They're in 4th place. Then we have Williams, Kaiser, Deval, Scoot, who seems to change his passport overnight and has become a Frenchman. Then we have Ferreira in 9th place and Grady in 10th place. And we head down to the chicane then on lap number 3. And lap number 2, isn't it? Here we go. And we are on board with Williams. Can he make a move on Bushman? He's going to switch to the inside, but not going to go for it that time. I think sensibly pulled out.
Bushman had a great defensive line there, just sat his car in the middle of the road, gave Williams nowhere to go. Kaiser pulling in early to the pits, interesting strategy, end of lap 2, another car following him in. I think that was maybe Deval or Should behind, I didn't quite catch who it was. In Deval, yeah, Deval's in, Ferreira's in as well.
Scoot, yeah, so that is Deval in, we have Scoot in, and we also...
Oh, apologies, it's just Shoot and Kaiser in the pits, they're both coming early, so we expected them a lap later. That is the Toyota driver there, coming into the pits, just getting a new set of boots, and back out he'll go. Shoot also following him, our globe-trotting Dutchman there. And back out they come. Now, this is also good because they're going to have clean air. They're not going to be in a fight at all, so there's a possibility they might actually gain a bit of time with this strategy.
As soon as you said interesting strategy, I agreed with it. Just one point I was about to make. If you looked at the gaps between that time from 4th to last place, there was 2 tenths, 3 tenths at most between each driver. So if I were then get out of the traffic, get some clear air, and start pumping in some lap times, see if you can do the undercut on the drivers ahead. But we're back on board with Patrick Blashan as we go down towards the Dunlop hairpin. Mangano just ahead of us there. Rishley is being caught here ever so slightly. The gap was over 2 seconds. It's now coming down, Jimmy. It's down to, what, 1.6 seconds now?
Well, for what I've seen of Ridgely this weekend, he likes to be leading. He likes to be controlling the race. When he's under pressure, gets a little bit feisty, it looks a little bit aggressive, and we know that Mangano is fast and pretty decent under pressure. Blanchan, unfortunately, showed his colours yesterday in the manufacturer race in the AMG spinning, but here we are on board now with Williams up the inside of the McLaren. When he gets done, McLaren Bushman pulls it back across his nose and keeps him front. How did he do that?
Well, Williams there thought about the move, but again, I've said this once already, I think sensibly pulled out, but he may have forced Bushman into a mistake. Bushman running wide then as they went up to the back straight there, and Bushman is now going to have to try and defend. Williams doesn't know which way to look, but he's going to come to the inside. Can he make the move on the brakes? No, he can't. Bushman just about holding off, but he's got to be careful of those curves not to pick up a penalty. What's going on up ahead?
Mangano is. So he's coming to the pits. That front-wheel drive Megane is not good on its front tyres. Of course, it's using its front tyres to brake, to turn and accelerate. So it's going to go through them very quickly. In he comes at the end of lap 3. It's just him from what I can see. Very interesting. Some drivers opt to go for another lap onto lap 4.
Well, we'll see where he comes out into comparison with Scoot and Keisler. But I can see back on track, Ferreira looks to be trying to make a move on Williams after he was perhaps slightly delayed in not being able to get past Bushman there. In fact, Bushman, he is there just ahead of Williams. Has he gotten into third place here? Duval is now just ahead. So is that Duval having gone past Williams, I wonder?
There's been some action there. I think Duval has got past Williams, possibly at T1 while we were looking at Mangano in the pit lane there. So that's a little bit better for Bushman. But of course, Williams has lost out in that duel. He was actually right up behind the McLaren, and now he's got a BMW in front of him.
Well, Mangano is just ahead of Scoot and Keisler. He's about 3/10 ahead of Scoot. But look at Keisler. He's over 4 seconds off the back of the field now. What's gone on there? Something his crew in the pit stop have not done a very good job for him whatsoever. And as a result, Keisler is just falling off the back of the field now. Has some work to do. Oh, what's this all about? Incident involving Patrick Blanchan and Vincenzo Mangano. Well, under investigation. You know what? When I saw Mangano coming into the pits, I wonder if he's cut across the front of Blanchan. We will find out very shortly, I'm sure, but here's Anthony Duval now defending from Williams.
Yeah, Williams now all over the back of Duval. I'm sure just wanting to get back into the fight with Bushman. He's probably a little bit frustrated, but all the while Ferreira is there behind in that Audi, another front-wheel drive car doing okay in this race.
Oh, no! Oh, I tell you what, has he come out of the pit lane and gone across the white line too early?
Possibly, that is. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We'll just cover this as we come into the chicane. Bushman defends from Duval very nicely over the curbs, heavily. Williams following. They're all probably going to peel into the pit now. No, Williams comes in. Williams comes in the Huracan.
And also, I think Blanchan is in, and Richley. So a lot of pit stops here.
Okay, just quickly, just to very quickly cover the Mangano penalty. He must have cut the white line on the exit of the pit lane. The drivers were briefed. If you cut the white line on the exit of the pit lane, you will get a 1 second stop and go penalty, which is, in terms of a sprint race, your race over.
Yeah, it is indeed, and that's surely what it is, and his race and potentially his Nations Cup could be over very, very quickly. Blanchan comes back out onto track and is now in 5th place, so has that him serving the pit stop penalty, or is he going to have to come in again, I wonder?
I think he's just served his penalty. He's got 2 stops there at the bottom. You can see on your graphic on screen as well who has pitted and who hasn't pitted.
Yes,
Bushman,
Mangano,
someone who hasn't pitted, actually leading the race right now. Will he extend to the end, I wonder?
So Mangano has indeed served that penalty. Thanks for spotting that one, Jimmy. Out front, Bushman and Duval. Now we have to try and figure out exactly what is this the battle for the lead in theory? Is this the battle for the lead, or is this indeed a battle for what could be the lead should other strategies work out in their favour?
Well, I think what we're seeing is alternate strategy coming to play. Bear in mind that Grady, who was relatively nowhere in qualifying and practice beforehand, is now up into 4th position. If he can make the fuel in his car last, then he's going to have the track position and be able to defend. And Bushman there gets a mistake for the S. There goes Duval up to the inside in his BMW. BMW McLaren pulls ahead. Easy pass. There it is.
Yeah, see you later. Thanks for the memory, says Anthony Duval as he takes the lead of the race. He is driving an absolute stormer. Here's the Frenchman, Anthony Duval then. He's already pulling away from Bushman. Bushman doesn't even seem to be bothered about it at all. Then we have Ferreira in third place, Grady fourth place, Blashan, Rishley, Scoot, Williams, Kaiser, and Mangano, of course, after getting that pit stop penalty. We're on lap number 5, so if any more pit stops are needed, surely they're going to come in now.
Let's see if Bushman pulls in. He does not onto the last lap. Is he going to try and make that fuel last? It says here that they have to pit. Well, they don't have to pit. It's not.
It was advised.
It's not an obligation. It is advised to pit, or you won't make it to the end of fuel. Both Duval and Bushman, Ferreira and Brady, none of those guys have pitted, and they're ahead of the guys who have pitted. So this is strategy coming into play. How's he going to finish?
This is what we love about GT Sport. This is what we love about sim racing. And this is what we're loving about the Gran Turismo World Tour. It's completely unexpected. You just don't know what's going to happen. The drivers were saying to me earlier, you know what, with the cars out there, we think we know exactly how the top 10's going to finish. I guarantee you, if you went and asked them now, this would not be the order they would have picked. I did say to them, I said, look, guys, anything can happen. Remember the Nordschleife yesterday in the Manufacturers' Cup? It all came down to the very, very last lap. We didn't expect that. Now look at this. Ferreira, Bushman and Duval, your top 3.
Very
amazing
important
stuff.
for the start of that campaign here tonight. Of course, these guys, Duval was sort of running down in 5th place before all the pit stops happened, so he's really benefited from this strategy, but they still have to get to the end. Fuel saving means a little bit of coasting, a little bit of changing your mix as well, of course, so these guys are going to be going slower than the people behind, but I don't think they're going to be caught. Maybe Grady will be caught by Blajan, but that's it. These guys in front, I think they're home free.
Wow. What a turnaround for the books then. And here comes Ferreira. He's going to dive to the inside of Bushman. Can he make the move? The Portuguese driver is into second. On the last lap with just a few corners remaining, Bruno Ferreira takes second place, but it's not over yet. He's got, up ahead. Is that Duval slowing down? I think, I'm not too sure, but Ferreira is going to have to be careful here. This Bushman may try and move into the chicane if he gets close enough. I don't think he will be. Well, we didn't expect this to happen in the first race, but out front, the French driver has got his strategy absolutely spot on. No stops needed for Anthony Duval. He rounds the last corner, and the Frenchman is going to get the Nations Cup final off to a start with a win. Anthony Duval taking the win. Bruno Ferreira finishes in second place. Finishing in third place was Bushman. Fourth place was Blashan. Fifth place was Grady. In sixth place was Rishley. He's going to be absolutely devastated with that. Scoot was next, and it was Williams, Keisler and Mangano. Fantastic stop there. I can already see Matza has found Anthony Duval.
Anthony Duval, right? The winner of this race. Just tell us about the strategy. You didn't do a pit stop.
Well, I didn't expect to do that. I want to make a great qualification start in front, but I missed my quali, so I was in the traffic and I have to save fuel and keep tires, and everything was fine. So I didn't expect that.
But it worked out in the end. So we have our first winner. Congratulations. Big applause for this guy. And now let's get to know our 10 finalists a bit better.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be a part of the last 10 riders. And yeah, the semi races were really close. Really, that makes fun. And I hope it's gonna good races tonight. All these drivers are amazing. I knew him from, or I know most of them from the online racing. And yeah, it's nice to see them in real life. All of these guys are really cool. It's really cool to be here.
I like the fact that we were in 3 different groups, and it was a really hard race, really tough battle, and everything can happen in this kind of race. And I know that with my train before, I can make it in this kind of race. You know that I can make the show, so let's see this afternoon.
Ja, ich bin bereit fürs Finale, kann losgehen.
I feel good, I'm ready for the final and let's go it on.
Ja, ich sag mal, sicherlich zu dem deutschen Kollegen Kevin hat man sicherlich seine Rivalität, aber wir werden uns fair verhalten. Ja, und ansonsten möge der Bessere gewinnen.
I think my biggest rival here is my actually teammate from the same country, it's Kevin, but actually it's the best will win.
It's an amazing experience. The atmosphere is so beautiful. I hope to do well and let's see. You have to keep calm, focused, and do your job.
I am really looking forward to the race. It's great to be in the finals because I did a few mistakes in the semi-final races and I still could make the finals, so I'm really happy with it.
There's going to be a tough competition because everyone in the top 10 is so quick. I think that the guy to beat for me is I think the French guy, Anthony Duvel, and the guy from Hungarian. They are very tough to beat.
The whole event, it has been great. Lots of clean racing, great fun. Everyone's been going at it. It's been really great. I just can't stress it enough. It's been great. For all the competitors, be quick, take it easy, and let's have fun.
It was a good race. I got the lead off the start from second on the grid. And then from there I just kept the lead and drove a clean race. And to finish in the first out of 10 people is quite reassuring for me that I've got what it takes to do well in the final as well.
The races went very well, not the top as the top guys are doing, but it was good and I enjoy it. It's a completely different experience. We have people looking to us, stewards monitoring the races, so there's a lot of pressure racing here.
Well, it's incredible to qualify for the final. It's been a bit unbelievable, to be honest, because it's a bit of a hectic race. At one point I thought I was under a lot of pressure, but now I've qualified for the final. I'll see what I can do in the final with all the 4 races that are going to come up. It's a different kind of pressure because it's new equipment and people actually watching you race, live streamed on the internet, as well as the audience behind you when you're in the race seat.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live sending from the famous Nürburgring in Germany, a place where history was written and legends were born. And this is what we are about to do tonight. Here is the Gran Turismo World Tour Nations Cup final, and we are heading on to race number 2. So let's get back to our commentators.
Thank you, Mats. Well, what a fantastic way to get underway, Jimmy. Just give us your thoughts there on what went on in that first race.
I was just very interested to see that strategy come into play. I was very much convinced the guys were going to peel into the pits end of lap 3, all line astern. But we didn't see that. We saw, in fact, some guys take advantage of the fact that they were good at fuel saving. And we had 4 drivers who may have otherwise not finished too well, actually finished in the top 4 positions. Blajan was our highest, I think he finished 4th, sorry, Blajan was our highest pitting finisher. So it shows that pitting around there was not the right strategy.
No, it wasn't. Thanks to everyone tuning in, by the way. Jimmy Broadbent is alongside me, Chris McCarthy. If you do have any questions for Jimmy, do send them in the comments, and I'm sure Jimmy will answer as many as he can. There you can see on screen the leaderboard as it currently stands. So Anthony Duval has 12 points, Ferreira 10, Bushman 8. Then it goes down by 1 point to Blazan, Grady, Rishley, Scoot, Williams, Kaiser and Mangano, who is of course on 1 point. Second and third race, the point system will be exactly the same, and then it will be doubled for the 4th race. But let's go into race number 2 then, Jimmy. We are going to be racing at Interlagos this time. No qualifying needed. The grid is set off the results we had last time. It's going to be a 6-lap race. Again, we're being told with 10 times fuel consumption that 1 pit stop is advised, but we don't know whether that's going to be the case. And there's extreme tyre wear around here. So just talk us a little bit through about what we're going to see in the race and the cars as well.
Well, this is a very interesting race because unlike everything else we've seen this weekend, these are not racing cars, these are road cars. And in my opinion, it's this sort of race that really sums up these eclectic mix of cars you get in Gran Turismo. And really the spirit of the game, where you can get a car like this, a Ferrari 512 BB, and shoot, they're drifting that round T3 against a car like a Toyota Supra or a Renault Megane of all things. But these cars are all balanced, they all do similar lap times around here, of course. So it's going to be really cool to see how these different cars, different chassis compare over the course of the race.
Well, let's run through the exact cars we have through there and who's going to be in them there.
Okay, well, we'll start with Kevin Ritchley, of course, who's in a GTR last time around. This time it's his turn in the Renault Megane RS Trophy, with the TTRS Coupe going to Anthony Duval, last race's winner. And we also have Tarek Bushman in the Toyota Supra. But we'll come back to that in a second, as we have the grid here for the race. Of course, it is set by, I think, the fastest time from the last race.
Right. It was... There we go. We can see the grid on screen for you. Blashan and Ferreira.
One through with Brady there in 4th position in the Alpine.
There are the cars on screen for you. Jimmy, again, I'm going to ask you the same question. Putting the drivers to one side, which car would you go in?
Now, of course, I've always said I'm a bit of a Nissan fanboy. However, there's a very special car on this, as driven by Mr. Martin Grady, which is a Di Tommaso Pantera. A Pantera in one of these races, so of course I'm going to go with that, 100%.
Let us know in the comments which car you'd go in and for what reason. We want to see exactly what cars you're going in. What do you love on GT Sport? Tell us what you love and tell us why. But here we go into the next race. Of course, the grid set by the result of race 1. So it's Anthony Duval on row 1 to the left of picture. He is pole position with Ferreira alongside him. This a 6-lap race. Here we go for the race start, and we're off away and racing. Oh, well, Duval's got away very well, but it looks as if Ferreira was just standing still. Anthony Duval is absolutely flying away at the start. Who's going to be in second? It could be literally anyone. It's Blashan. Blashan's in second, and here goes Grady to try and go into 3rd place, going wheel to wheel with Keisler as they head down towards the left-hander now onto the straight. Jimmy, what happened to Ferreira there?
I think he just got a lot of wheels, but look at Grady in the Pantera going up the inside of a Skyline. Listen, I didn't think I'd be saying these cars again from track, going down to T4 now up the inside. Just about going to make that Nick Keisler on the outside. He's got the traction there in that 4-wheel drive R34 GTR, and they are being harried by the Mercedes and the Ferrari 512 behind. What a great mix of cars here, Chris.
This is absolutely fascinating stuff. Oh, and there's contact. Grady's ready to the back of Keisler. Oh, and Keisler's in the barrier. Keisler's in the barrier. Kimo Keisler, one of the favourites coming into today, into the barrier. Megano now in 3rd place, and I don't see anything short of a pit stop penalty going to Grady. Talk us through the replay, Jimmy.
Well, here is the replay coming up to T6, very fast right-hander Grady. Let's see what he does here. Oh, he's just too late on the brakes, goes right into the back of Keisler there. Tries to avoid him one more time, but Keisler has nowhere to go, hits the barrier, and is now down to 10th and last place. Look at the fin there, not looking happy at all.
And you can't blame him. Keisler absolutely devastated. He's already got off to a terrible start in the Nations Cup with only 2 points in the first race, so things getting even worse for the Finn. And as you've just pointed out to me, Jimmy, we've had a very, very quick starting Italian.
Of course, just to very quickly go back to that, we do have that incident under investigation right now, but Mangano, yes, from last place is now up to 3rd in 1 lap. Fantastic position from him here. He is on board. Sorry, this is a Blashan, apologies. Yes. Up behind Duval, looking up the inside of T1. No, not quite close enough here. But look at Duval, forced to go defensive. It's going to be a slow line through here. It's going to be very slow through T2. Blashan right on the back now. through this very long left-hander. These Comfort soft tyres will not be enjoying this torture here. Now long straight down to a heavy braking zone. This is where you're going to try and overtake Duval. Instantly goes to the inside, instantly defensive.
Oh, and Mangano coming down the middle of them there. And with 3 wide going into the left-hander. Who's going to emerge from the lead in all of this? It's going to be Duval just about. Watch out for Scoot as well there in 4th place. He is closing in as well. Then we have Rishley and Bushman, and then Ferreira, Kaiser, Williams and Grady. They're 2 by 2 as we go into the double right-hander. And Mangano's gone round the outside. Mangano round the outside. Can he take the lead? Oh, surely not. And I think just about Duval's going to hang on to it.
Understeer there on the right hand. There's a bit too much speed, but up to second. And look at Scoot here in the Ferrari 512. He's finally gone back to his homeland, it seems. Back to being Dutch again. Looks to the outside of Blajan. Not going to work there. Mangano's still having a look at the inside of Duval. Very difficult to pass through this midsection unless you are a lot faster, sorry. Got a bit mixed up with my words there, but
Scoot's gone round! Scoot's gone round! Can he save it? Well done! Scoot just about saving it. Jimmy, talk us through the replay.
There you go, that's what happens when you put a rear-wheel drive, put power for an old rear-wheel drive car going downhill on. Oh, look at that! That is one for Formula Drift, I think.
Karski would be proud of that, the Polish driver. Probably around somewhere who does drifting championships. But this is not a drifting championships. This is, of course, the Gran Turismo World Tour, live from the Nürburgring 24-hour. And in race 2, we have 3 for the lead with Patrick Blaschan now going down the inside of Anthony Duval. And he's going to try for the lead. Blaschan tried for the lead, and he's taken it. Patrick Blaschan's taken the lead. Mangano, though, I think may just get it back on the exit. How are we going to keep up with this for 3 more laps?
And Blaschan's put himself on the outside line, so Duval is Duval's going to go through as well. Now, it's going to be a drag race between the Alpine and the Mercedes behind. And the Audi behind, sorry. No, he pulls back into the slipstream, decides not to let Ferreira goes for the dive up the inside of the Supra, not quite close enough. In the background, of course, there's McGann with Ritchie and Scoot in the background. We've had no pit stop as of yet. Grady and Williams are 2 British boys, 9th and 10th right now. Not a good showing from them in this race.
No, not at all. And Grady, of course, was being investigated, but we haven't heard anything else just of yet after that first lap collision. There you can see Ferreira. He looks to be lining up a move on Bushman here. He's got to be careful of Rishley as well, who will want to make up for going the wrong way, I think, with strategy perhaps in that first race. Either that or just did not have the right car to win with the strategy required. But Ferreira, I think, is about to look up the inside. As he know he isn't. So we return to our leaders. How close is this for the lead? This is absolutely fantastic. When are we going to see them dive into the pits? Are we going to see them dive into the pits?
Well, I thought we were going to see them dive into the pits in the last race, Chris, but they decided they were going to prove us wrong and make us look silly, so they might do it again here. But what I want to say is there are some people doubting the decision to put road cars into a race.
I love it.
I think this proves them wrong. What do you think?
Yep, tell us in the comments as well. What do you think of this race? What do you think of these cars going wheel to wheel? As Jimmy correctly said, this is what GT Sport is all about.
Yes, I'm just going to have a look now. Are they going to peel into the pit lane? Mangano in the AMG Merc in the A45 he comes in. Look how fast he's into the pit stop. Here come the mechanics out now to put a new set of Comfort soft tyres on there. There it is.
Oh, we've got loads of them coming in. Ferreira has come in as well. It looks as if Williams has come in as well. Who else have we had come into the pits? Bushman has also come into the pits.
Blaschan interestingly staying out now. Of course, we're on 20 times tyre wear. That means that 1 lap on these tyres is the equivalent to 20 laps of wear. So Blaschan is going to have real trouble getting around here in one piece unless he can really put together a decent lap. Only 3 cars staying out, Blaschan, Duval and Grady, of course. This is going to be really interesting in terms of strategy. Will we see a repeat of last race where some people stay out and split the strategy? Or are we going to see everyone pitted in this lap? Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Blaschan goes for it here. Once he got to lose, he, of course, didn't have... He had a pretty decent run, but we were expecting him to win at one point in race number 1. Blaschan didn't on that occasion, and as a result, Blaschan now on 7 points coming into this race.
Blaschan, of course, going by the PSN ID TRL Fuveros, I think that's pronounced there. So some of you guys might know that from online races. Currently leading this race here, second race of the nation final, with Duval behind as well. These guys, will they pit in this lap? My money is yes. I don't see how they're going to get these tyres to the end. Everyone else has changed tyres so far. And of course, if you're familiar with racing, you might know the undercut. The guys came in a lap before. They're going to have fresh tyres for this entire lap, while these guys are out on old tyres. So we might see guys who pitted just completely jump these guys in the pit stop.
Yeah, that's very true. Right, let's keep an eye on Blashan, Duval and Grady, who's trying to go the full distance once again. Do they pull into the pits? I think Duval is... No, they're not. So I think we're going to see him go for this.
I think I have a feeling that these tyres aren't going to pass an MOT once they get to the end of this rate, but we'll have to see how they handle them. Blashan into T1 looks like he's taking his normal line, looks pretty composed to me. I say composed, look at him soaring at the wheel there in the bottom right.
Well, absolutely fascinating stuff from Blashan. I'll tell you what, over four races, we are going to see fantastic. Of course, they're going to be using different cars, aren't they, throughout the four races, all different types of cars. So this is absolutely fascinating. The drivers are really being tested as a result of that, aren't they? Having to use four completely different types of car.
I mean, this is a pure park here, and we're seeing that we're having some issues. I think there's going to be some sort of restart here. The camera pans away to us, but as we were saying there, yes, the drivers do need to have a very specific set of skills here. It takes a lot to drive so well.
So we're going to actually be restarting the race, it seems. There was just a couple of problems with the grid there. Oh, Jimmy, you're on TV.
Hello.
Hey,
finally here.
Jimmy, give us a wave.
Finally
Jimmy.
getting the recognition I deserve. Hello, everybody. There's a camera there somewhere. I'm probably going to go soon.
They clearly don't want to see me.
No.
Oh, look, they cut off just as it was coming round to me.
Deservedly so, I think. Deservedly so.
They don't want any more lenses broken. Are we the only ones standing?
I think we are.
No, one of the Spaniards is standing. So
got to put ourselves over the rest of them, I guess, in this case, haven't we?
Yeah, we have at the end of the day.
But still,
it will be our national anthem playing at the end anyway. So.
We can hope so. Well, despite this little hiccup here, of course, let's go back to the race and talk about what we saw in that from the guys. We saw a sort of mixture of strategy. We saw a couple of guys opting not to pit and actually put those tyres to the end, which would be a very brave decision if you ask me, of course. But we also had those who came in and tried to push on the new tyres, and where we were seeing them gain, I was seeing the gap come down. Now, I'm not sure if it would have been enough to actually, do anything for the end of the race. I think they would have still been in trouble.
Well, there's a few comments coming in asking why we're restarting the race. For clarification, Race Direction is telling us there was a problem with the grid. So Race Direction are telling us there was a problem with the grid, and as a result, they want to restart the race. So that is exactly the reason why we are doing it, just to clear that up for all of you. And we are going to restart the race here. That leaderboard's going to be your grid, essentially. Mangano's changed his name as well to Giorgio. So
I mean, I'm not...
We have people moving countries. We have people changing names. Why?
Well, I want to say, though, although, of course, it's a hiccup for the drivers, that means you guys and us get another race, essentially.
Another race. However, now, you've just done 4 laps of a race, right? You've seen some different strategies being played out. Of course, Kimo Kaiser can breathe a big sigh of release, as can Martin Grady. Do you now change your approach coming into this? What are they going to be thinking?
You've already learnt the strategy. You've learnt what everyone else is going to do now. So that actually puts everyone in a very interesting point. You see Grady there having a little bit of a smile and a chat there with Shoot next to him. Of course, probably asking him about his strategy, and then getting a rather cold reception from the Dutchman, I imagine.
Yeah, probably. There's Kevin Rishley just having a little chat, I think, with one of the officials behind. And there we are. Hello,
there you
everyone.
Go. Best commentary booth here, by the way.
I know. It's the biggest, actually.
The biggest? Yeah.
It's well kitted out. I think they just gave the others web. And I tell you what, it's the best. We are the best kept. Ours is the tidiest.
Yeah, we went down the booth yesterday to have a look at the rest of them, and there were some messy booths. I mean, my foot spa down here has absolutely nothing in it at all.
No, neither does mine. But the Germans, on the other hand, I've got to say, I mean, I don't know what they're doing with their booth, but it's not going very well for them in terms of, it's been an absolute mess in there, basically. Okay, well, I don't think we're too far away from getting underway. Do we have any comments coming in? Of course, myself, Chris McCarthy, alongside me this weekend is Jimmy Broadbent. If you have any questions for Jimmy, send those in. I'm not too sure if we do have any comments coming in at all, but if you do have any questions, send them in to that man there, Jimmy Broadbent, and he will answer them for you. And thank you for joining in, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. We're here in the Ring Boulevard building at the Nürburgring. Of course, it is the 24-hour race this weekend. Me and Jimmy got to go on the grid earlier. It was absolutely a fascinating experience.
And then we then huffled off very quickly, weren't we?
Yeah, well, they saw who it was, and then they said, actually...
actually, no, don't need you here. Okay, so we're just preparing now for the race. You can see the driver's getting ready once more. Shu just adjusting his glasses there, of course. Very important to be there. Look, how cool does Mangano look? He's got his little sunglasses. Oh, well, that's an interesting pre-race ritual there. Whatever works for Kaiser, I think, at this point.
Yeah, whatever suits him best.
So we're just getting some word for some our race director saying we're now going to be going back to the race. So, guys, strap yourself in. You're going to get to see another N300 race.
Okay, here we go for take number 2. This is race 2. The grid is set off where they finished in race 1 in case you've just joined us. And if you did just join us, basically what happened in race 1 is 3 drivers did the complete different strategy without pitting for fuel, which was recommended, and they were the top 3 finishers. Those drivers were, of course, Anthony Duval, who was going to go off pole position in this one, Bruno Ferreira, who is there in 2nd place. As you're seeing, we're using some pretty interesting cars, and also Bushman as well. He's going to be starting 3rd place. 4th place is Patrick Plashan, the Hungarian, the first of the drivers who pitted in race 1. Then it is Martin Grady, who also did not pit, but got beaten by Blashan just on the last lap. Kevin Rishley was leading the race 1 early on and finished in 6th. Scoot was battling for 2nd place at one stage, but ended 7th. Williams had a good start to race 1. He was 5th place at one stage, but finished 8th after his pit stop. Kimo Kaiser had a terrible run of things and is 9th, and has got away with something here, because of course he had that incident where Martin Grady punted him off at the first attempt to get this one underway.
Watch that Nissan off the line now. Watch that GTR.
Right. Do watch Duval off the line. He is to the left of screen, Ferreira to the right. Here we go for race 2 at Interlagos, a 6-lap race. Red lights are coming on. Once they go out, we're underway, and there we go. And there goes the Nissan. See you later. Anthony Duval goes straight into the lead. Going into 2nd place, it's the Audi, sorry. Going into 2nd place was Blashan. In 3rd place then, let's see who that's going to be. It is going to be, well, it's going to be either one of 2 people, 3 people. It's Kaiser in the end, so a much better start. But he's got his arch nemesis now, Martin Grady, just behind.
Again, Mangano, last place, now up to 5th place off the start. I'm going to assume 4-wheel drive in that A45. That can only explain such a decent start. Kaiser up into 3rd, this time defending from Grady again in that Pantera. And I love saying that. I'm still not used to saying there's a Pantera on this grid, looking at the back of a Skyline. Now, this is where there was contact in the first race. Grady gets it wrong a little bit there, coming out of T5. That's going to allow Mangano up into 5th position. Now, Kaiser looking to the outside of Blajan, not really an overtaking spot. Will there be an attempt? No. Blajan covers him off, gets on the inside. Kaiser slots him behind.
Kaiser in that Nissan Skyline, challenging Blashan there, just ahead of him for 2nd place. Blashan in the Alpine as they head now through the left-hand hairpin. They're closing in on Duval. Duval, of course, in the Audi TT, got a fantastic start off the line, and you were telling me, watch out for Anthony Duval off the line. I think we can see why Jimmy was saying that now. Mangano, of course, up into 4th place, as Jimmy was saying there, in the Mercedes-Benz, as they now head up towards the last corner before the long run down to the start-finish line, and very, very close early doors here, Jimmy.
Okay, well, let's see who has the legs coming up out of the last corner. Big uphill section here, so the cars with a little bit more horsepower will do a little bit better. Interesting to see that Williams up into 5th position, in the Aston Martin, repping the British manufacturer. That's what I like to see. Here is Keisler on board there. You see how intense he looks when he drives on the back of Blajan, using the grunt from that R34. He's going to look to the outside now. Blajan now, but still in the toe of Duval, so going to lose a little bit of toe. Brakes later than Blajan, but he's not going to have the right line. Let's see how this goes. Is he going to go round the outside? He's going to have the inside now for this right-hander. Wow! Round the outside goes Keisler.
Fantastic stuff. Kimo Keisler showing why he was one of the quickest qualifiers yesterday. Let's have a look at it on board from Blajan. Keisler just going around the outside. Blajan gives him enough room. Keisler made that one look very, very easy. Anthony Duval, you are next, my friend, as here we go. Is Keisler going to try and move on Duval?
Not again. Not again.
Round the
Keisler.
outside, surely.
Whoa!
Keisler into the race lead. Well, he is driving out of his skin in this one. Keisler into the lead, Duval in second, Blajan in third, but Mangano is there in fourth place. Mangano attempted to make a move for third. Duval is not safe by any means in second. Then we have Ed Williams. Look at Williams. He's now trying to move as well there in fifth place.
See, I mean, yeah, we did have the issue, but now we get another race off this. Blajan up the inside of Mangano now at the hairpin. Look at that. But he's not going to be able to cover him off. Mangano, look at the traction from that A45 now coming up to this last tight right-hander. You've got a lot of runoff on the left here. Mangano just about going to have space on Blajan there, but he's on the outside for this long downhill left. Junkao, they call it.
Oh, be careful, Williams. He's drifting through that long left-hander, and Williams is going to look to the outside of Blajan. He's not going to go all the way around the outside, is he? He's going to go for it. Grady is just in behind as well, as now they head down towards the start-finish line, and I think Williams might just take fourth place. Indeed, he did, ever so briefly. Let's see if he can do it into T1.
Mangano there with sunglasses on head, looking about as cool as you possibly could there whilst under such pressure. Look at this, three wide there behind us, Blajan on the inside, Grady in the middle, Williams on the outside. Who's going to come out in fourth place? Three wide still in T1, Grady backs out, Williams tries to go around the outside, he's now got the inside on Blajan, similar move to what Keisler did. There it is, can he get that Aston there? Aston struggling a little bit, very heavy car there. Alpine still on the inside, Grady going to try and follow Blajan through. This is action all the way, Chris.
Yeah, well, Grady's now into fifth place, so Martin Grady into fifth in the Pantera, and Jimmy loves when we say that.
Yes, I do.
The Pantera into fifth place. Tell us what you think of the cars in the comments. As we said, what would you be out there in if you had the choice? Let us know in the comments, and thank you to everyone tuning in. I'm sure you're enjoying the action. This is race 2 of 4 in the Nations Cup final. These are 10 drivers who qualified through via the semi-finals on Thursday. The remaining 20 drivers around the Ring Boulevard in our stand, just watching on, really enjoying the racing here as we now head through the right-hander into the left-hand hairpin as well. This is now lap number 3 of 6. And our leader is down the road.
I love this camera angle. I don't know about you, Chris.
Oh,
right at the bottom, looking
amazing.
at the brake calipers there of the Alpine in front as we chase Mangano. Of course, Mangano, you may know him as Giorgio_57. His PSN ID. I'm sure you've come across him right now. You're seeing just how good he is here. Blajan, though, right up behind, getting a little bit sideways. Now, we saw in the last race people drifting down Junkao. We saw Grady get, it should get very loose in the Ferrari. He's a bit further back now in this race. But now Blajan, he's in the right place, though. He's now in the slipstream of Mangano in front. Meanwhile, the front Keisler pulling away, making it look easy in that R34 GTR. Will he pit this lap for new tyres?
Well, I was going to say, you may have come across Mangano. Whether you can keep up with him is another story, but Keisler is into...
Oh! Look at that entry. Wow, that's how you do that, isn't it?
What a pit entry that was, Keisler. They're the kind of things that can win you races, though, as we return back to the battle for the lead. And Blajan... Mangano's gone into the wall! Mangano briefly into the wall, but somehow he's emerged in the lead. Duval now going wheel to wheel with him. Duval trying to just poke him off the track there. Blajan now coming round the outside, and they're going to be 3 wide, are they? Look out for Grady as well in the Pantera. Grady into third place.
That's not the line, Giorgio. You can't hit the wall going into T1.
Here comes Grady again.
in that Pantera. There he goes up the inside. No, not quite. Great action here on track. The top 4 separated by just over a second, but in the background there's Bushman as well. He's still there, so there's going to be pressure all the way to the end of this race.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating stuff, but it's only going to help Kimo Kaiser. Oh, Grady! Did he lose it there? Almost did a big drift going through there. Is that just normal stuff in that Pantera, Jimmy, or is that a little bit too much on the edge?
It's an old car with rear-wheel drive and lots of horsepower. That is completely normal, but of course, on these tyres that are wearing very quickly, I wouldn't recommend getting it very sideways very often. Watch this traction from this A45 on there, just pulling on the Pantera in front. How is it on the brakes though? Look at Grady, it's a great view of how that Pantera moves around on the circuit now. Down here it's going to be the most difficult corner for Grady in that car. Does he get sideways? No, he's keeping it under control. In fact, he's pulling away from Mangano.
Grady is driving an absolute stormer here. Well, he was probably one of the underdogs. He didn't really expect to be challenging for wins when he saw his car selection, but Grady is proving even himself wrong here, as he's now into 3rd place, which would be at worst 4th overall with Kaiser having come into the pits. Right, do we see anyone else pit on this lap? Half the field roughly have pitted. Does anyone else come in? No, I don't think we have. So everyone else staying out as Grady is now looking to the outside of Duval in that Audi. Let's see as they go through the first complex of corners. Grady loves to go around the outside down in that left-hander. Let's see if he can do it again. Oh, this is just a masterclass from Grady in the Pantera.
Great view. He's got the run coming out of T3 up into the slipstream with Duval. Goes to the outside there. Look at that very calculated decision there by Grady. Will he have the grip to ground now? Look at the straight line speed of the Pantera. Look at it go. He's already passed before the corner, Chris, but he goes a little bit wide now. Can he cover him off? Yes, he does. Round the outside of the more modern Audi. Go Pantera.
The Pantera there in the hands of Martin Grady, doing a fantastic job. Here's the replay. Talk us through it one more time, Jimmy.
The Grady just sets up nice and early. It's got the straight line speed, so he gets across Duval there, who's very respectful. Could have quite easily gone into the back of Grady if he wasn't paying attention. Move is done, and there it is. Now Duval has to follow Grady and the quite sluggish Pantera through the middle section, which will frustrate him no end.
In terms of points, now Patrick Blashan is on 7 points and he's in the lead. Grady is on just 5 points and he is there in 2nd, and Anthony Duval, of course, was our first race winner, so he is on 12 points. So for him, this is a very good position to be in.
So we're actually now coming on to this will be the last lap. Will these guys pit in again? Our brief says they probably should, but as we saw in the last race, we were thoroughly made fools of by the drivers out there. Not the first time this weekend, actually. No. Let's see what Blajan does. He's our leader now. Let's see, this may dictate what the rest of the guys do. So Blajan in the Alpine A110, will he come into the pits? I must say he's looking quite central on track. No, he's going round to the end, so he's going to go round on those what must be now bald comfort soft tyres. Will Grady go round as well? Grady in 2nd position in the Pantera, but Duval is right up behind him. There it is.
Here he is, and Duval might look to the inside. He swaps to the outside, and Duval's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Grady just giving him enough room. They're still going to be side by side as they go through the right. Now onto the left, of course. That Pantera very good in a straight line. So let's see if Grady can get the run on Duval down to the left-hander. Behind, here comes Kimo Kaiser on those brand new tyres. He's now into 4th. So these guys aren't actually safe just yet.
No, Kaiser looking very fast there. Mangano there, used to see him behind. There it is. Kaiser around the outside of Mangano. Mangano not letting it go though. There it is. Move made. They're coming up so fast to the back of the Pantera and to Duval in the Audi. I think Blajan might have this one licked, but the battle for 2nd and 3rd is far from over. Kaiser absolutely rocketing up to the back now of the Pantera. That Pantera on 6-lap old tyres, or I should rather say on 120-lap old tyres.
Here he goes, Kaiser down the inside of Grady.
Easy,
that'll be fair. Grady won't fight him too hard, surely. Right now for Kaiser, it's Anthony Duval, their next target. Let's see if he can do it then with just a few corners to go. I think it'll be at the next corner, surely. Kimo Kaiser is going to dive to the inside. Oh, he was thinking about it, and he may have just cost himself the chance.
The drift, the four-wheel drift from the four-wheel drive, and that's what you want to see. Down through Young Carroll for the last time. He's going to have the advantage into the last corner, but in a straight line, I'm not sure. Here is a defensive move from Duval. Will he try the switchback?
Let's see, Kaiser surely is going to go for the run, down the start, finish straight, and there he is. He's alongside, and Kimo Kaiser is going to go into second place. Meanwhile, out front, Patrick Blashan takes the win. Blashan taking the win. Kaiser, though, here he comes in second place. Oh, indeed, I think this is in fact the final lap. Is it?
Drag race.
No, there it is. Blashan takes the win.
Drag race.
But who's going to take second? Kaiser! Oh, Kaiser just about taking second place. Third place to Duval, fourth place to Grady, and fifth to Mangano.
Fourth place to the Pantera, ladies and gentlemen. I know I shouldn't show any bias to the commentators, but you can't help but root for that old boy there.
What a fascinating race that was. I'm out of breath after that one, but our winner, as you can see, is Patrick Blashan. Played his tactics absolutely spot on there. Fantastic driving from him. Blashan taking the win in that one. He drove absolutely brilliantly. Kimo Kaiser finished in second place, of course. That's a good recovery from what was a very disappointing first race for him. Then in third place, we had Anthony Duval. Anthony Duval finishing in third place at the Oh, there we go. There's official results for you. Thanks very much, Jimmy. There's the official results for you. Grady,
you guys already know
place.
It's Patrick Blashan finishing this race in first position. So how do you feel now? There was again a non-stop strategy, and you were with the last drops of fuel on the finishing line, right?
Yeah, it was a very good race. I was trying to save fuel at the beginning of the race, and I succeed in.
Yeah. In the end, it worked out pretty well, yes. So congratulations, big applause for Patrick Blashan. And yeah, there we go. Have you got a strategy for the next race? It's going to be Monza, I think.
Yes, I have a strategy. I think it will be a one-stop race, so again, the fuel saving will be important.
Okay, I think we're all going to be very excited for it, but first of all, we're going to have a look at another racing series we had yesterday, the Manufacturers Series race, and now we are going to have a look at it.
Well, we've just about got our breath back, Jimmy, but now we'll probably lose it again because this was the Manufacturers' Cup. The teams were split into groups of three, and it was based on their qualifying performances from the semi-cup, from the semi-final of the Nations Cup.
See here, the Mercedes made a very early move on Toyota using that straight line speed. Immediately we went 3 wide. Of course, these guys were not messing around. Very much the half-an-hour race. Mercedes went quite wide at T1, but just about held it off from Team Toyota, with the McLaren using its straight line punch out the corner to really harry the Toyota into the first chicane.
Well, this was the Ferrari trying to be a hero and going from hero to zero, unfortunately, as it tumbled round after getting into as high as second place. Now we're on board with the Nissan, who had chased down the Mercedes, and this a half-an-hour race of Monza, 2 pit stops required, and the Nissan at this stage of the race, with just 6 minutes to go, took the lead from the Mercedes. But the race was certainly to be far from over, as the Mercedes would come straight back into Lesmo 1 to take the lead.
But it didn't end there, of course. Those who watched last night will know that this is not the end of the tale of the first Manufacturers race. And Nissan, of course, very keen to stay behind that AMG. Got it wrong, though, nearly had contact and went off at the second Lesmo. And it's here that we thought that the race was over and done with, and AMG won. But no, it wasn't. Here is the AMG coming out of the first chicane, getting it all wrong into the wall. Nissan goes back into the lead, but not only the Nissan, through went the Renault as well.
So out front, it would be the Nissan who took the win after a hugely eventful race. Second place, just behind, went to the Renault, who was picked 9th. We'll talk more about that in just a second. And finishing third, despite that spin, was the Mercedes. Now, the 10 teams
This is
way
the
we
winning
had it,
team,
we
actually.
had 10 manufacturers to be
Nissan team,
represented.
was that right?
Nissan, yep.
The Nissan team. Nice to have you here, guys. How do you feel?
It's great, yeah. We've got a good starting position for the final race, and hopefully we can do well in that.
Yeah, okay. Timo, you are the leading racer, actually, of this team. So how was your impression of the race?
Oh, it was tight. The qualification was not that good. I was sixth, I think. But then the guys before me, they started the battle, and I was saving fuel behind them. And then at some point, I think I overtook 3 cars in one corner. Yeah, it was great.
Lucky you. But you all of you guys, well done. What was your personal impression of the race?
That was a good race. No problems. Car was good.
So that's Mats' second time cutting me off today on the live stream. He's been very rude today. Now, the 10 manufacturers, how are they chosen? Well, of course, qualifying practice. The driver who finished first overall in qualifying practice got first pick. The driver who was 10th in qualifying practice and the 10th of the team captains got 10th pick. So that's how it all went. The Mercedes was picked first, and at the start of the hour-long Nordschleife race, had a half spin after making contact with the Renault. This would be the race that decided the Manufacturers' Cup. The Monza race would set the grid, but this would be where it would all be decided. And at that point, everything was turned on its head. The McLaren having a spin going into the Mercedes, and it all got a bit messy, and the drama would certainly not end there.
No, of course, and we touch on the Mercedes. Here is the Mercedes chasing down the Renault, and there was a mistake here. What's the driver on board? You see there probably a nice clean word uttered from his mouth as he went into the wall. And this wasn't the end of Mercedes' troubles as the rest came piling in, unsighted over the crest. Mercedes into the wall, and it only went downhill for the Mercedes team.
Quite literally at that moment in time before they started to climb back up, as the McLaren then we saw just there was challenging for 4th place. There was the BMW making a nice move for 2nd place to get past the Renault, and now they had set their sights on the Nissan with still over 50 minutes to go and 2 pit stops.
Of course, we had a long battle between the Porsche and the Subaru here. It was a Subaru. Here is Ed Williams, of course, going past on the inside. And we said on the broadcast, and we'll probably see it again here, that's not the best place to overtake, because now you have the Dottinger coming after that. Here we have the Subaru now on the McLaren. Again, the McLaren getting very sideways there, and then contact with the Subaru, and has actually lost 2 places. I think the Mercedes came back to take advantage of that as well in the background, went onto the grass to try and get round him. Of course, the penalties came thick and fast.
Yep, and we were only just about into the second half of the race at this point. On board with the Subaru, the Mercedes makes a mistake. The Subaru reflects it, the pair off, and Mercedes now more work to do once again. But up ahead, Nissan, at this moment in time, the team Nissan were in a lead of about 11 seconds, and just behind the Porsche was throwing away a chance at a podium with a half spin.
So a lot about this race, of course, but here was the final decision that made the race. BMW on Nissan, there were only 2 minutes to go after an hour race. The BMW went up the inside of the Nissan before the carousel and had the move done. That was the thing that was Duval on McPherson there. And this is where it went wrong for McPherson. Just went on to the grass. You can see there a nice word, I think, uttered by McPherson after that incident there. Yeah, he said, "Oh, blast." And here was the battle for 2nd place, the 3rd place, with the Mercedes just being driven by the Toyota. But here was the winner, and look at that. Look at the elation from the manufacturers' champions there.
They left it to the last lap, but the BMW eventually took the win. The Nissan, giving it everything they did, spun in trying to take the win. So that was unfortunately their efforts
This is the winning
not going
team.
so well.
Please
Toyota
give
was
it up
third.
for Matthew Thomas, Felipe Nicolai, and Anthony Duval as the BMW team. Crazy. The whole race was amazing, but the last 10 minutes were outstanding. How did you feel it?
Well, I would like to thank my teammates because we start P10, so I don't think anyone in this place think we will win the race. So thanks to my teammate, and after I know that he will make mistakes, so I push him to fault, and I tried the only opportunity I have, I took it. So it's great.
Okay, these are the 3 winning teams of the Manufacturers' Cup of the Gran Turismo World Tour start event. Okay, guys, we're heading to race 3, but first let's have a look at the leaderboard right now. Anthony Duval in front with 12 points. then Patrick Blajan. 20 points. Yes, Patrick Blajan is 19, then Martin Grady, 13 points. Tarek Buschmann from Germany, 13 points as well. Bruno Ferreira, 13 points. Kimmo Kaisler from Finland with 12 points, so it's really tight. Kevin Ridgely, 9 points. Giorgio Mangano has 7 points. Angelo Schutt with 6 points. And Edward Williams comes out with 4 points, actually. And we're heading to race 3. But before, I want to know what our commentators say. Perhaps first, the guys from the UK, how did you like the races so far?
Oh, you know, the racing has been fantastic. It's lived up to all expectations. The guys being put under a lot of pressure, having to try out different types of car. And I think that's how we're ultimately going to find who is the best driver, putting them in all these different cars in very tricky tracks and having to figure out their own race strategies. They're really being tested, and I think it's a testament that we are at the Gran Turismo World Tour that we're doing it like this.
So perhaps one word to the UK drivers?
Oh, you know, the UK guys, I think, are doing a good job. Martin Grady put on a good show for us in that Pantera there. So, you know, to the guys in the UK, do us proud. We're rooting for you. But, of course, to all 10 drivers, joking aside, they're all doing a fantastic job and they should be proud.
Okay, the UK guys are, of course, happy with their riders and always being pushing. The Germans are there as well. Hallo, Deutschland, wie geht's euch? Ist alles gut bei euch?
Ich glaube, mit den Rennen können wir uns auf gar keinen Fall beschweren, gerade was Strategie und Spannung angeht.
Germany as well happy. So let's have one quick word from France. How are you guys doing?
We're very happy and what a race.
Yes, we all enjoy, I think. Also Spain, here's a lot. You're talking like crazy. I see you all the time like sweating and everything. How do you feel?
I feel good, baby. Yes, it's incredible. It's spectacular what we are seeing and we're watching. And I think our spectators are living this like us, and I think it's getting better or worse. I don't know. This is crazy.
Yes, of course it is. Actually, now we're heading to Italy. Hey, guys from Italy, how are you doing? How do you like the races so far?
It's an honor to be here, and what can we say?
We are so happy, but for Giorgio, we cross the finger because he's stronger.
Of course, always pushing the own drivers. And we are going to head over. Before we come to race 3, follow me with the camera. I got to show you something. Our German racer, Kevin Ridgely, is actually driving the Audi Vision 3, and Vision G, of course. It's this one over here. Just have a look, guys. We are having this over here displayed, and it's forbidden to touch, but actually, I can't help myself. I have to. Sorry, guys. This is really amazing. Look at that car. And now you will see that one performing in race number 3. Guys, have fun.
Well, thank you to Matt. He's done a fantastic job all week, hasn't he, Matt? Not only has he been hosting the live stream, but we've been having loads of exhibition races, which we had the finals of this evening, Jimmy. And you've got to say he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he?
Well, I mean, bear in mind that he's commentating in both English and German. I can only just speak English, so I'm not quite sure how he's doing both.
Yeah, even that doesn't go very well sometimes. Right, here is your grid for race number 3. As you can see, we are in the Group 1 cars. We have on the front row there Kaisler with Blassan, of course. Next along in 3rd place, that is Duval in the Bugatti. Then we have in the Alpine Matt Grady. Very interesting looking car, that one. Mangano is in the Audi R18. Then alongside him we have Bushman in the Peugeot 908. On row 4 then we have Kevin Ridgely in the Audi VGT. Then we have Bruno Ferreira in the Mazda LM55. How good does that look? Scoot is in the Peugeot Hybrid, and then on the back row we have in the McLaren Ultimate Ed Williams. So we are at Monza, as you may have been able to tell with the cars at Parabolica. This will be a 10-lap race. It'll be a rolling start, the first rolling start race of the day. Again, we're being told we need one pit stop. That's what we heard from one of the drivers ahead of the race, but we're not going to believe that until we see it. Right, here we go then. It's the long run down to the first chicane. This is going to be a fascinating race for sure, as Blashan leads us down towards turn number 1. We've already got a challenge for 3rd coming from Mangano as they head down towards the first chicane, and out front it looks as if Kaisler might challenge for the lead. in towards the first chicane. Keep it nice and clean, boys. Do we all get through safely? Just about, and we can now take a deep breath as we're side by side for the lead almost. Well, in fact, it was for third, and we've seen a change.
Yeah, Mangano has got past Duval there, up into third position in that Audi R18. Of course, these cars got big punch out of the corners. These Group 1 cars are some of the fastest cars you can drive in Gran Turismo Sport, and these guys can be putting in 110% concentration just to keep it on track. Look at Kaiser now in the Toyota TS050 trying to chase down Blajan in that 919 hybrid. Look at those three cars all together. So I love these cars. These are my favourite cars in racing.
But how difficult is it for them now? They've just gone from driving road cars to driving the fastest cars. How are they going to adapt to this, Jim? What are they going to have to change?
Well, these cars are all about downforce, taking momentum through corners, believing the car will stick, it usually does, and taking very fast apex speeds. Now, Kaiser, good run for Ascari then. Now onto the back of Blajan. Now, slipstream is important in these cars because of the downforce. Oh, the dummy! Sells him the dummy to the inside now. These guys have a big rivalry online. Not the best of friends in person. Blajan keeps it around the outside, though.
What a fantastic bit of driving that was from Blajan there. He was just able to hold on to the lead. As we head down towards the first chicane, then for the second time.
Side by side, here we go. Blajan to the inside into the first chicane. Not going to go side by side. Look at Mangano there in the background, and Duval and that very interesting Bugatti Group 1 looking car. Of course, you've got these three in front, and then you've got the Bugatti in the background. Again, really cool to see these vision cars involved as well. Yeah. A lot of these manufacturers have been approached by Gran Turismo, asked to basically give us the coolest concept you can think of, and here they are in game now.
Tell us what you'd like to drive if you were out there right now. Oh no, Mangano's picked up a penalty. Well, that's surely for just cutting the chicane. He's already trying to lift off to reduce that penalty. Now, if we get a replay, we should be able to talk you through exactly what happened. Well, Jimmy would be able to anyway, but for now, we're going to go back on board with Kimo Kaisler as we head up towards the Ascari chicane. Back to that Mangano penalty. What do you reckon? Just cutting the chicane a little bit too much?
Wow, yeah, sorry, just look at the braking on Kaiser. He gained about half a second there just on the brakes, and now he's right on the back of Blajan. We'll get back to that penalty in a second. Back into the slipstream again. Now, Blajan know that Kaiser will try and go up the inside. Will he cover it off this time? He stays to the outside, which is the best line. Coming into the Parabolica, braking just before the 100 board there. Blajan slow on the apex. Look at the speed that Kaiser carries in that Toyota.
Kaiser's diving into the pits, as he know. He's just trying to get the run on the exit. It'd be far too early to do that, but Kaiser now back in the tow. Mangano has that penalty, of course, which we would assume was for cutting the chicane or just taking a little bit.
He served it now, it's gone.
All right, cool. So just taking a little bit too much curb, but we can resume back to normal, and Mangano still in this fight. Oh, and well, running wide there was Kimo Kaisler. A rare mistake from the Finn, and the Italian is now going to try and punish him for it. Mangano looking to make a move here. That Jimmy, just
on the inside of Kaiser, there it is. He makes the move coming through Curva Grande into the chicane, and it's done.
Perfect.
Nice. There you go. So that the order has changed now. It's Porsche leading from Audi, leading from Toyota. This seems a bit familiar to me, actually.
Well, talk us through this move then. It was just a simple run, wasn't it, round the outside, and there you go. There's the move into the left-hander. But Kaiser, where do you reckon that mistake come from? Too eager on the power? Too much speed?
Yeah, just a little bit messy coming out of the chicane, and if you get it wrong out of there, you lose speed all the way up.
Well, sorry, further back, Kevin Rishley is almost out of spin. He's dropped to 8th place now. Well, he was very lucky out of Lesmo 2 to stay in a straight line eventually. Kevin Rishley almost going all the way round there, but back out front, we can see now Kaisler trying to get one back over Mangano as they head down towards Parabolica for the third time of 10. Now, is Mangano the one to drag Kaisler back to Blajan and be the one to actually do the overtaking? What do you reckon, judging on the cars? Do you reckon these three are too evenly matched, or is Mangano going to have a little bit of an advantage when he catches Blajan?
I think these guys are very evenly matched at the moment. These cars all race together in the real world. Here they are racing together very well here at Monza, coming down to T1, not quite close enough. Of course, you might know Kimo Kaisler by his other username, which is Zed Kippy.
Oh, he spun! Oh, well, Kimo Kaisler Oh, I almost thought he was going to go all the way round there. Jimmy, take a deep breath. It's okay. Kimo Kaisler is still pointing in a straight line, but talk us through this.
Here it is then, just as I gather breath, Chris scaring me a little bit there. Just gets on the throttle too early there. The car going round and again slow into the chicane. Here comes the Bugatti of Duval into the mix.
Yeah, Duval now trying to look at the inside, but Kaisler in a straight line looks to have the advantage. There is Anthony Duval, of course, in terms of the points. He is currently leading the way. So to give you an idea of where the top 5 are on track in terms of the points, Anthony Duval, of course, we're on board with us 20 points, but going to the leaders, Blashan is second with 19 points. Mangano, he has a total of 7 points at the moment, so not having the best of runs. Then we have Kaisler there in third place, who is on 12 points. And then Bushman in 5th place has a total of 13 points.
Bushman coming back into play now. We haven't seen much of him in this race in that 908. Good to see that car on track again. It's been a couple of years for me, but here comes Kimo Kaisler in the Toyota, just coming through the Parabolica. Duval a little bit wide there, getting onto the artificial grass. Let's see what that Bugatti has in a straight line compared to this Peugeot. The Peugeot now in the slipstream, not quite gaining enough. I think the Bugatti's starting to pull away.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Wow, look at the speed of the Bugatti. Where did that come from?
Well, Duval on the brakes. Is he good enough to go around the outside of the chicane? Oh, well, sensibly backed out of it in the end. Kaisler, once again, having to take a deep breath after the first chicane. Not for a mistake this time. This time it was because he almost had Anthony Duval going around the outside of it.
No, I love watching Bushman drive. He just looks so non-fussed about anything. He's just there for fun, isn't he?
I mean, we did a commentators race for the viewers earlier, and it was only 4 laps, and I was absolutely sweating afterwards. It felt like I'd run a marathon. Great fun, but not a good show in terms of the drive.
I suggest you not try and run a marathon if that's how you felt after doing 4 laps there, Chris.
I don't think it's in my plan. So. Right, back with Mangano, because he is closing in on Blashan here as they head down towards Ascari. Tell you what, Mangano, as this Nations Cup final goes on, is just getting stronger and stronger. When it comes to double points for him, if he can get a good result here, he'll close the gap down to the likes of Blashan, and in double points, he could do it.
He's just always been there, Mangano. I mean, he's not necessarily been the quickest driver, but he's consistently been 2nd, 3rd, 4th, always in that region. Now he's harrying Blashan here in the Audi R18. Of course, in real life, this Audi R18 was a diesel. Probably the coolest and nicest feature about it. Here we go then. Oh, wow, into the pits already there on that 5. Oh, this is now the halfway mark. So we have Mangano in, we have Blashan in, we have Kaisler in as well, Duval in. They're all coming in, Bushman in as well.
So who's going to stay out, if any of them? Let's see, Williams, Rishley, Williams is in. Rishley has stayed out. In fact, no.
Blashan out already. Good stop by Blashan. I think he's actually gapped Mangano. Let's see where Mangano comes out. Of course, they have to stay within the white line, coming down to the chicane. If they run out of there, they will get a drive-through penalty, which will pretty much put paid to your race. I think that Blashan had a slightly better stop there than Mangano, but the Italian is still in contention.
Yeah, well, Mangano has a lot of work to do now because Patrick Blashan isn't a driver that makes mistakes very often, as you may have noticed already. Well, we're on lap number 6 of 10 for anyone who's just tuning in to bring you up to speed of what's happening at the moment. This is the Gran Turismo World Tour. We are here at the Nürburgring 24-hour race in the Ring Boulevard. We have hundreds of people currently gathering around, watching on at our stage to see the drivers in action. They're enjoying it. We hope you are too. This is the Nations Cup final. It takes part over 4 different races. This is race number 3. They score points in all 4 races. The 4th race will be double points, and after that we'll have our winner. So that's to bring you up to speed, but Jimmy, let's go back to the race.
Looks like Shoot, who had a really good pit stop, is now up into 3rd place. He has come in. He was nowhere at the start, so he's managed to have a really good stop. Maybe not taking tyres or something similar to that. We'll have to look into that as it is. But Shoot, the Dutchman, has now propelled himself up into 3rd place, but it's all going on still at the front. Blashan and Mangano back together already. Look at the pace Mangano has. He's already gained a second back on Blashan just in 1 lap.
He's absolutely flying, and I'm looking down to the Italians because Mangano is about to go into the race lead. Here we go, down towards the first chicane. Easy as you like. Mangano into the lead. doesn't even need to go that defensive, in all honesty. He could have cut back across to the outside of the circuit, but Mangano not taking any chances on that occasion. Jimmy, pretty standard move, really.
Here it is, Silverstone set up there outside the Parabolica, using the straight line speed of that Audi to get the move done. And there it is, nice and easy. Now I'm thinking now, just a very quick theory on Shoot, our current third place driver, the Dutchman. I don't think he's taken tyres. Of course, there is not an obligatory pit stop. You probably need to do one if you want to get to the end, and I think they've just put fuel in, whereas a couple of them have actually not taken tyres, maybe have taken tyres. That's why he's now in third position. Now, he wasn't running too fast, so we're probably going to see him drop back. Kimo Kaiser is actually stuck behind. He's now about 10 seconds off the lead. What happened to Kaiser?
Kaiser is falling down the order, unfortunately. Not in terms of a huge place of positions. He's only dropped one place, but the damage in time has been done. However, he is about to go back into third because he is harrying Angelo Scoot, who we believe is on old tyres and may have just taken on fuel. There is that fascinating Peugeot that Scoot is in as we now head down towards Parabolica. Kimo Kaiser trying to line this one out. What's happened to Rishley? It looks like as if penalty, maybe. It may have been a chicane penalty or something like that. But track limits penalty is what we should be saying correctly. As out the last corner they go. Leaders are already on lap number 7 of 10 as Mangano comes across the line. He's leading by 4/10.
I think that the top two didn't take tyres either. I think that Kaiser, again, just like in the last race, M300 race, has taken tyres and has now suffered, because he is gaining, but not by enough. And I'm not quite sure. I think that the Finns got...
Oh,
there he
he's
goes!
gone round!
He goes!
Kimo Kaiser spins! Oh dear, well, it almost happened earlier, but that time Kimo Kaiser has gone round, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, he's pushing too hard. I think he knows he made a mistake. Just touched the curb, actually. There it was. Unsettled the car. Once his cars are unsettled, you can pretty much reach out and push him round, and that's what happened just there.
Well, there we go. That is exactly what has happened then. Great insight from Jimmy Broadbent as ever. As here we are looking at Bushman. So now Scoot is in a bit of a comfortable third place, but let's go back to the leaders because here we go for round 2 between the Italian and the Hungarian, Mangano and Blashan. Now, has Blashan just has he just been saving his tyres ever so slightly, do you think? Staying behind Mangano, letting him pick the braking points, getting in the tow. What do you reckon?
I think it's all going to come down to the last lap. If you can get in the tow coming down to the Parabolica and get the move done, there's not much the guy you're fighting with can do about it. Now, we've got a couple of laps left. Blashan and Mangano at the front. Seemingly, it's going to be one of those guys that wins it in case there is a mistake. And we've seen mistakes in these races before, actually by Blashan. We saw it on the highlight just a minute ago. In the last couple of minutes of the manufacturer's race, Blashan looped it coming out of the chicane. I'm sure he won't want us reminding him of that. But right now, he is the one doing the chasing. Mangano setting the pace.
Right, out of the first chicane they go, and Mangano just up ahead there, leading by half a second at the moment, but this is the penultimate lap of race number 3. After this, we will go into the final race of the Nations Cup, race number 4, where double points will be on offer. Blashan there, just hopping over the curbs, trying to chase down Mangano, who looks to be getting away here, Jimmy, and Blashan, I think, just struggling a little bit now.
It seems that way, not quite as fast through the Lesmos here, second Lesmo, see how he does. He's okay for there, not much of a wiggle. A bit of a shame for us British boys here, 9th and 10th. I've just noticed Grady, who was actually a contender in for third place, is now down in 10th position. Oh, hello,
here we go.
Comes Blashan.
Here comes Blashan. Down towards Ascari. He did this on the last lap, didn't he, Blashan, where he just closed in during this section, but the first sector doesn't seem to go so well for him. Out of the chicanes, he seems to struggle, but in the much faster corners, he definitely seems to be going very quickly as they head down towards Parabolica to go on to the last lap. Now we're looking at Bushman closing in on Anthony Duval, so that'll be a good little scrap we can follow over the last lap as well. But your two leaders are split by just 3/10 as they are about to go onto the final lap of the race. Oh, almost a bit of contact there between Bushman and Duval.
But watch that Bugatti go now. We've seen it already when the Peugeot seemed close across the line, and I think the Bugatti had its hybrid recharged or something. I assume it has hybrid given how fast it pulled away last time. Although the Peugeot is now driving past it, making it look very silly in a straight line. Bushman to the outside, Bugatti's still there, round the outside. Easy gone wide, sliding on the curb. So he just sits on the apex, makes Duval wait for it. But look at the traction of the Bugatti. Nothing Bushman can do about that.
Duval, see you later. Duval going much better traction, as you said. Let's watch it again. Look at that out the corner. Thanks very much, mate. I'll take fourth place. Yeah, nice knowing you. Duval, though, he's still got to hold on to it. This is the final lap, of course. The two leaders are just coming out the second Lesmo, just to make you aware, going down towards Ascari. There they are, and whoa, here we go. It's very close again. Patrick Blachand looking to the outside. Jimmy Broadman rubbing his hands there. This is going to be an exciting last corner.
Let's see what he does here. If he does what I said he's going to do, is he going to make the move coming down to Parabolica? Mangiano off the corner very fast though. Blachand's going to have the toe, is he? He pulls right to the inside. He's trying to break the toe. That's his one move done. He'll now stay to the outside. Will he be fast enough? Look at the braking of the Porsche coming into Parabolica. Mangiano looking like he might just have it covered, but it's going to be a race to the line. Let's see what happens here. Mangiano seems to have it done. Blachand, can he pull up? No, he can't. Mangiano's going to come and take the third race win. The Italian just takes it from the Hungarian. Fantastic racing, and it looks like Scoot with his strategy is going to come home in third.
Yeah, here comes Scoot. He played his cards right. I think that's the very best he could have got out of that car. Third place for the Dutchman. Here comes Anthony Duval. He just held on to fourth place ahead of Bushman. Bruno Ferreira will finish in sixth place. Keisler in seventh. Then we have Rishley, Williams and Grady. Matza is just preparing to speak to Mangano after that race win, after what was a very nerve-wracking end to the race with Patrick Blachand challenging him. But that is race 3 now finished as we prepare to hand over to our host here at the Gran Turismo World Tour, Matza. But until then, there you can see the car of Mangiano. It is Mangiano who takes the win, and the 12 points that goes along with it. One more race remaining after this, and it will be double points, a 40-minute race. So it's going to be a long one, plenty of time to decide it. And we'll work out the points for you before we go into that final race. But that is confirmation of the result. Mangiano, Blachand and Scoot, your top 3. Mangiano will be with our host, Matza, to have a little chat about that one.
Is 3 races, 3 winners, and now it's Giorgio Mangano in front, the Italian guy. So how do you feel?
I feel very good after two very bad races. So let's keep these good races.
Yeah, the Italian guy won in Monza, so you brought it home actually.
Yeah.
The whole of Italy will be happy. So congrats and big applause for Mr. Mangano. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at what happens at the 24 hours race at Nürburgring. Oh, there's another TV show going on actually. They are right in the middle of the night session, of the first night session, I think. So this is the finishing line over there, and there's the audience. They are also doing live shows. So it's really exciting out there as well. This is what we shouldn't forget actually. And now we're having a look at the Nürburgring paddock.
I'm Jochen Herbst from Düsseldorf in Germany. We're going on this AMG GT4. To do it, take it in your hands, please, and just push it, just push it onto the, see? That's it, that's all. And then you realize what I'm saying with PlayStation display.
You sit really far back in the car. You sit like towards the rear wheel, basically. That's where the seat is. And you also sit really low down. But they mold a seat for every driver. So once you have the mold, it's probably quite comfortable and supports you quite well. All the controls. And of course, it's just a steering wheel and pedals like we have inside as well. And you change gear with the pedals as well. So the driving experience is pretty similar between real world and the game.
How does it feel to be in a man's world?
Who says that this is a man's world? Turn around there. See those women. They are what?
Is it difficult to be in a man's world?
No, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure?
Yeah, it's cool. I enjoy the time here.
They are really nice to us. They are quite friendly, and it's really nice to be here.
To smell the oil and the fuel of the motor cars, and yeah, it's cool to be here.
This is a really nice situation. I love men, I love children, I love women, I love humans.
It's pretty cool though, because the people are really nice and it's a very nice atmosphere here, so we really enjoy it.
It's great to see how excited all the people are. So to see the fans and to see how the action continues today.
Is it important the car of your boyfriend? You don't?
No, it's not important. The man is important. Yeah. I need a sporty man, and I love racing drivers. This would be my dream man, you know.
Which car would you choose here?
Or BMW.
Lamborghini.
It's a BMW.
It's a BMW?
Yes. My favorite car would be an Aston Martin. I love British style.
Honda, okay.
Say Honda, so let's say Honda.
Thank you very much, girl. Enjoy. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your gift.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah, here we are. I'm just going through the lines over here, just talking to some German visitors. Guys, wie geht's euch denn so?
Sehr gut.
Und dir?
Auch gut.
Erzähl mal, was hat euch bis jetzt an den Rennen so am besten gefallen?
Es sind sehr spannende Rennen. Es kommt der Realität sehr nah. Also, gutes Ding.
Was erwartet ihr fürs Letzte?
Doppelte Punktzahl, doppelte Spannung.
Okay, so they are really excited as well, like the races so far. But for the last race, it's going to be super exciting because we have double points. So 24 points still up for grabs for the winner of this race around Lago Maggiore. But let's see the leaderboard first. Okay, leaderboard is about to come up soon. Before we are heading to the race, we look at how many points every racer could gain. Okay, here we're back again without a leaderboard, but everybody's excited. So I got to question you another question. Wie sieht es denn bei euch aus mit eurer Rennerfahrung? Fahrt ihr selber auch Gran Turismo?
Ja, zu Hause so ein bisschen.
Zu Hause so ein bisschen, okay. So, Gran Turismo Fan as well. Und du, fährst du auch Rennen? Irgendwie so live oder so? Was hast du da gemacht?
Nee, ich habe einen Knorpelschaden durchs Basketballspielen.
Okay. Sports is so extremely hard to the knees sometimes. He plays basketball actually, so this is why the knee is hurt. But do you race as well? Yeah. But you wouldn't do like that. Okay, so right now we're heading to race number 4. We'll have a short look at the leaderboard now.
Just save your breath. I love your words, feel like a jail. Blocks the sun and makes me stale. Not enough gold in all the world, so why have I surrendered to your abusive ways? The cracks have opened up to the
Back for the race with one of the winners of one race at least. Mr. Duval, how do you feel?
Pretty great. I'm in the run for the title, so everything will go on the last race. It will be really hard.
Any plans?
No.
No, or I wouldn't tell it. Okay, so all the best of luck for you, and we're going to have a look at the leaderboard right now. Here it is. In front, it's Patrick Blazan with 29 points at the total. Anthony Duval is in position number 2 with 27 points. Giorgio Mangano, 19 points actually. Tarek Bushman, 19 points. Bruno Ferreira, 18 points. Kimmo Keisler with 16 points. And Angelo Schutt, 14. Martin Grady from the UK, 14 points. Kevin Ridgely, 12 points actually. And Edward Williams comes up with 6 points. So mostly everything is possible with the last race. We're going to have double points for the final. It's going to be the Gran Turismo World Tour Nations Cup final, race 4 right now. And we are going back to the commentators. Have fun, guys.
Thank you, Matza. I hope you enjoyed some of those videos. I wonder whose idea it was to interview the grid girls. I wonder do you reckon that was the guy doing the interviews?
I think maybe it was. I mean, we won't go into that too much, I don't think, because not the best idea. I think we're now going to be going into a video about some of the players here. So sit back and relax and get to know our players a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be a part of the last 10 riders. And yeah, the semi races were really close. Really, that makes fun. And I hope it's gonna good races tonight. All these drivers are amazing. I know most of them from the online racing. And yeah, it's nice to see them in real life. All of these guys are really cool. It's really cool to be here.
I like the fact that we were in 3 different groups, and it was a really hard race, really tough battle, and everything can happen in this kind of race. And I know that with my train before, I can make it in this kind of race. You know that I can make the show, so let's see this afternoon.
Ja, ich bin bereit fürs Finale, kann losgehen.
I feel good, I'm ready for the final and let's go it on.
Ja, ich sag mal, sicherlich zu dem deutschen Kollegen Kevin hat man sicherlich seine Rivalität, aber wir werden uns fair verhalten. Ja, und ansonsten möge der Bessere gewinnen.
Yeah. I think my biggest rival here is my actually teammate from the same country, it's Kevin, but actually it's the best will win.
It's an amazing experience. The atmosphere is so beautiful. I hope to do well, and let's see. You have to keep calm, focused, and do your job.
I am really looking forward to the race. It's great to be in the finals because I did a few mistakes in the semi-final races, and I still could make the finals, so I'm really happy with it.
There's going to be a tough competition because everyone in the top 10 is so quick. I think that the guy to beat for me is, I think, the French guy, Anthony Duval, and the guy from Hungarian. They are very tough to beat.
The whole event, it has been great. Lots of clean racing, great fun. Everyone's been going at it. It's been really great. I just can't stress that enough. It's been great. For all the competitors, be quick, take it easy, and let's have fun.
It was a good race. I got the lead off the start from second on the grid. And then from there, I just kept the lead and drove a clean race. And to finish in the first out of 10 people is quite reassuring for me that I've got what it takes to do well in the final as well.
The races went very well. Not the top as the top guys are doing, but it was good and I enjoy it. It's a completely different experience. We have people looking to us, stewards monitoring the races. So there's a lot of pressure racing here.
Well, it's incredible to qualify for the final. It's been a bit unbelievable, to be honest, because it's a bit of a hectic race. At one point, I thought I was under a lot of pressure, but now I've qualified for the final. I'll see what I can do in the final with all the 4 races that are going to come up. It's a different kind of pressure because it's new equipment and people actually watching you race, live streamed on the internet, as well as the audience behind you when you're in the race seat.
Well, there is a look at the leaderboard. 3 races gone, 1 more to go. Sorry, sorry for everyone on the live stream. Yeah,
I guess here, shall we say? Anyway, sorry.
We've completely gone to pieces. It's to give you an idea of what time it is here. It's gone 11 o'clock. We feel when we arrived with all the different nations commentating, we just felt like we were commentating Eurovision. Oh, I don't know. We've just fallen to pieces. Anyway, well, you had a look at the leaderboard, and this is a look at the final.
This is very dramatic, isn't it? Look at this, fantastic introduction here. And of course, here we are, Lake Maggiore, a circuit you may know from Gran Turismo World if you've been playing there yourself. A fantasy track, of course, but a very fun one. We've been told by the drivers it's very fast, very flowing, and of course, that's probably one of the most famous corners from a fantasy track ever, the very large banked right-hander.
Well, there you can see Blajan second. On 3rd place, we're going to have Scoot in the Renault Sport. In the Toyota, starting 4th place is Duval. Then in 5th place, we have Bushman. Rest of the grid will follow for you. So this is the final race. 20 laps around Lake Maggiore. 2 pit stops are recommended to all the drivers. This is double points, so we have the leaderboard set as you would have seen. Now this is for double points, so this is where we find out who is going to win the Nations Cup here at the first Gran Turismo World Tour event of 2018 at the Nürburgring 24 Hour. The nerves are rising, the crowds are gathering. Let's get ready to go racing. Mangiano and Blajan on row 1. The 3 red lights will come on. When they come on and go out, we will be racing. 5 lights on, and we're off away and racing then. Mangiano, a good start for him. Duval getting a similarly good start as well. And here comes Martin Craney down the outside there. But Mangiano trying to hold on to the lead. Oh, but he's lost it. Blajan's taken the lead, and Blajan into the right-hander. Played his cards perfectly there to take the lead away from Mangiano. Duval and Scoot run 3rd and 4th place. Then it is Keisler in 5th place. What a start there from Blajan.
Great start, that's perfect, that's what he wants there, although loose there coming over the top of the crest. Now, of course, Maggiore known as a very fast flowing circuit. Look at the cars coming here down line and stern into this long right-hander, very late apex here, of course, and all these cars have different characteristics now. We have been told there have been some clarifications to the white line rules. We'll go over them very quickly. Basically, stay within the white lines or you might get in trouble. But if that happens, we'll let you know. Duval we're watching right now in the Toyota, trying to chase down Mangiano. Now, of course, this is a long race, 20 laps, so the driver is just trying to get settled in at the moment before maybe pushing for a better position.
So there are the drivers then making their way down the hill and into the banked corner, the very well-known banked corner of Maggiore. For any of you Gran Turismo Sport players, that is of course the most famous corner at the circuit then, as we head through the left and the right. Jimmy, think you just spotted something?
I was just looking back, sorry, at how the banking is and the elevation change for that corner. It's great to see, and of course this track is a little bit wider than the tracks we've been on so far. It means there'll be many different lines available to our drivers, so different driving styles will be catered for here at this track. Coming to the end of the lap now, we're going to be going downhill to one last long left-hander. For this sort of circuit, you want a car that is good in the high-speed stuff, and it seems so far that is the AMG and the Subaru, followed by the Toyota. So here's one lap down, 19 to go.
Mangiano looking to the inside then, and we're going to see a change of lead in towards turn number 1. Mangiano down the inside of Blashan. Duval sits there in 3rd place. So the Italian is back into the lead now. Mangiano has 19 points. Blashan has 29 points. So there is a 10-point difference, and the difference in points between 1st and 2nd at the end of this race. Of course, it is a double points system. So 12 points it usually is for the winner, 24 points it will be now for the winner of this one, and next along 20 points. So only a 4-point difference.
Wait a minute. Did Mangala get past Blashan? Did I miss that?
Yes, that was at turn 1.
Oh, be quiet then. You keep going, because I'm going to just leave the arena now. See you later.
I think that's you done. Career over.
Career done. There it is.
No, I'm joking. Right, here we go, back with the race. So there's a 4-point difference. Now let's work out. Duval and Blashan, it's a straight fight for victory between those two, essentially. Oh, Bushman's off. Further back, Bushman's off.
Right at the back of the grid. That's not good for him early in this race.
Now there's only 2 points. Oh, well, let's come back to that, because Mangiano's having to defend, and no way could Blashan go around the outside at the banking. That would be unheard of in GT Sport, but Blashan sits in behind. Now, as I was going to say, oh, well, I'm going to have to come back to it, am I? Let's see, because Duval, who is in contention for the lead, is also in there as well. He's in contention for the overall win, and he's trying to distract Blashan, I think, whilst defending from Scoot at the same time. Oh, Scoot's to his outside. Oh, they're wheel to wheel, and Scoot just running off the track.
Just pushed wide there. That was very ambitious, but there's no space out there. Very loose on the curb next to the Porsche of Kimo Kaiser. He's going to try the outside line. Doesn't need to. He's already past Shoot there. Just losing a couple of places. Got a little bit too enthusiastic in that Renault. But look at these top 5 cars all together within about a second and a half now, coming on to our 3rd lap.
Well, this is the move. Once again, Jimmy, talk us through it.
Here it is then. Out on the inside. Shoot tries the outside, but there's nowhere to turn in here. He's on. Gets off line, not as much grip there, has to run over the grass, and Kaiser thinks I'll have some of that, gets past on the outside, up to 4th place, an opportunistic move there by the Finn.
As I was going to say, there's 2 points between Blashan and Duval. So, with 4 points separating 1st and 2nd, it's a straight fight for victory. However, we've just had under investigation Duval, and I think that was Scoot as well, was it, as they make their way down towards the right-hander, Jimmy.
Yeah, just waiting on our stewards now to see if there will be any action, but we'll get back to you as soon as we know. At this moment, Duval actually heading up in 3rd position, so far on a podium, of course, but he won't want that. He'll want to go for that top position and go for those double points, of course. Look at the Blashan and Mangiano right now through the chicanes.
Even if he finishes 2nd and Blashan is 3rd, he wins the Nations Cup. So this is... It's come down to the wire. It's what we expected. It's down to the last race. And Mangiano is about to lose the race lead. Oh, he's dipped a wheel onto the grass. Well, he's trying to defend, of course, at the banked corner. Blashan looks to the outside, and Mangiano is just about going to hold on.
Can't do anything out of there. You just can't get the cut back. Although saying that he's got good speed uphill, but now he's on the outside again. If he can hang around, he might get the inside.
He's going to hold him, and he's through. Blashan into the race lead, but not for long, is he? Well, Anthony Duval is there as well. Don't forget about him. He's challenging for the overall victory in the Nations Cup.
5 cars all together, nose to tail. I could get my 30cm ruler out and cover all of them at this point. Look at them go down the hill now. Blashan trying to make the most of trying to stick with Mangiano, but also has to contend with Duval. Big in his mirrors, and of course Shoot here and Kimo Kaiser.
I tell you, look how much they're flirting with disaster out the last corner.
The strength of this field here, and you see them coming around this last corner and just dipping a wheel out, just to getting the rear end out. You think, no, surely not. But every lap, pretty much, they hold it. And they make it look easy.
And they've got to do it for 40 minutes. So it's going to, a bit of a moment for Duval, but it's okay. Take a deep breath and carry on. But up ahead, Blashan is there in 2nd place. Mangiano is 3rd. Now 3rd in the points. It's a tie between Mangiano and Bushman. So Mangiano trying to get an overall podium here. To get a win, I think, would be a little bit too far-fetched, but he can still get an overall podium. He's tied with Tarek Bushman, who's all the way down in 10th place. As for Kimo Kaiser, he is also in contention for an overall podium, as he is only 3 points behind Mangiano. So We've got a lot to try and keep up with, but plenty of time to do it. Just to bring you up to speed, we've had 3 races so far in the Nations Cup final. These are the 10 drivers who qualified through via the semi-finals on Thursday. They've scored points in those 3 races. This double points in this last race, so it will decide the winner.
Blajan again looking to the outside of Mangano, coming round to this bank, but it doesn't work. Blajan, don't try it again, of course. Now, Blajan actually belonging to one of the biggest and most successful racing teams outside of GT Sport there, and showing why he has that place. Look at him all over the back of Mangano, and bear in mind, at this point, he's just driving in his mirrors. He's not looking ahead. You can see it, and they're right on the back. He's making little mistakes into the corners, and of course, what all this is doing is backing them up into the cars behind. So, whilst maybe Mangano and Blajan can pull away at this point, they're not. They're fighting, they're squabbling, and that's letting Deval stay with them. And also Kaiser in the background staying in tow as well in 4th.
Now, that's saying we couldn't need as many as 2 pit stops. What do we reckon? Of course, so far what we've seen is people without only 1 race. We've seen actually F1 pits. What do we reckon in this one, Jimmy? Looking at the track, the cars they're using, do you reckon that we will see any pit? How many pit stops we'll see? Will we see people try and go 1 stop? Will everyone go 2 stops?
It's hard to tell at this point, to be honest. You have to bear in mind that we do have a small brief on this as to what we expect to see from the drivers. Of course, you see on your screen there on your graphic, 3 times tyre wear and 3 times fuel usage. So there will be at least 1 pit stop, I think. That is a given. But we've seen drivers in the past races manage to make the fuel last, manage to make the tyres last, and then really benefit from those strategic decisions.
There we go. Let's get back to the racing, and out front, Mangano has just extended a bit of a lead, ever so slightly, over Blajan at the moment. In 3rd place there, we have Anthony Deval still and Kimo Geisler in 4th place. Let's run through the rest of the order, as we haven't been able to mention them much yet. There is the leaderboard you can see on the screen now. We have Scoot, Williams, Ferreira, Grady, then Richley and Bushman.
Now, I wonder if Deval will have a go.
Here we go.
He goes to the inside.
And there we go.
Wow.
Move down the inside. Anthony Deval, at this moment in time, is the Nations Cup final champion. That move is for the lead of the Nations Cup, and the French commentators are going wild 2 booths down from us, because that is Anthony Deval, the overall leader.
Here comes Blajan, not going to take that line down. I'm not quite sure why he left that inside line open. He's been having that fight with Mangano the entire race and still there. Here comes Kaiser, Deval on the outside now. Blajan's got the inside here, but will be on the outside for this left-hander. Deval keeps it. He'll also be on the outside for the last one. Here comes Kaiser on the inside as well. He's going to be on the inside of both of them maybe. Here we go then, last one. No, Blajan comes across, takes a line. Kaiser nearly took there. Blajan nearly got mugged by 2 cars in 2 corners.
Don't let Mangano run away with this, guys. But this is, of course, you can't blame him in a way, because this is for the overall Nations Cup. Oh, there's almost contact. Blajan running across the grass there. Anthony Deval is going to sneak.
And
there's more contact. Anthony Deval almost going sideways. Scoot is getting involved as well. Geisler in there. Oh, well, what did you make of that, Jimmy? I'm sure we'll get a replay of that one. But now we have Deval, Blajan, Geisler and Scoot line astern.
That was very messy there by Blajan. It was a bit of a desperation move. He doesn't need to be doing that so far, but maybe he's also done the maths. Maybe he knows that he needs to be past Deval in order to get this done, get the championship sorted. But in the distance there, Mangano is pulling away.
Yeah, Mangano is getting away from the rest of the field. Deval there has Blajan to deal with. Then we have Kaiser, Scoot, Williams, Ferreira, Grady, as Richley as well, and Bushman. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get a replay of what happened there, but we all did see it the first time around. It looked as if it was an over-ambitious move from Blajan, which almost had serious consequences in Deval being taken out of the race. But now Deval has to defend down towards the banking. Blajan looks to the outside. Kaiser's there. Scoot is there as well. Oh, a little bit of contact. And Blajan there, just trying to get the comeback. Oh, and here comes Geisler. Geisler, can he get into 3rd place? Let's see, they're going up towards the left-hander. Not quite at the moment. Oh, well.
I think
how are we going to get through 20 laps of this? This is absolute chaos at the moment.
He's going to look around the outside. Blajan, he had a look. He actually got on the brakes a little bit late because of that. And now Kaiser right back on the toe. He's looking to the inside again. He's all over the back of Deval. Blažan's being a little bit too aggressive for my liking at the moment. We've seen him get a bit riled before when he's under pressure, so hopefully he can keep it together here. But here's a great view of the fight on board from Scoot.
Jimmy, let's not forget what this is. This is the Gran Turismo World Tour, the Nations Cup final. This is it, all or nothing essentially for the win between Duval and Blažan in terms of the points.
He goes again, Blažan, no, he doesn't. Sorry, I thought he went to the inside there, just changed his mind at the last second. Sorry to cut you off there, Chris.
No worries, it has to be done when it has to be done. Keisler there though, Blažan's made a mistake and Keisler almost got through. Scoot in the end, just sitting behind. We're on board with Scoot now. Jimmy, what does he do from your opinion? Because it's all kicking off ahead of him. He can either attack, or wait for it to end in tears.
I think he knows that he might not have the pace to match Mangano at the top of the field there. But the thing is, now he's being caught by Williams.
Yeah.
Ed Williams, who wasn't really in this race at the start. Is he going up the inside? Let's have a look. I just saw him dive to the inside. The place, no, not quite close enough. He had a look there though. So now Shoot, who was thinking, oh, I'm going to just sit back and watch this, is now under pressure as well.
Yep, your time at the cinema is over, my friend, because Ed Williams is now right there. So no longer can Scoot just sit back and watch. He has to start fighting and defending. Now I think this is for Scoot to go on the attack, surely.
I think he has no choice. He has to at least try and get rid of Williams behind. Now there may be some drivers who think they're coming for an early pit stop again. There's Keisler, sorry, that's Blažan. No, Duval. Get it right the third time, going to the inside with Blažan. There, contact maybe from Keisler. No, went in a bit deep. Here comes Blažan, cut back. Contact. Off he goes. Off he goes.
Blažan's gone round, I don't believe it. Blažan's gone round. Where's Duval? Where is Anthony Duval? He's dropped to 5th place. Blažan spun round. Jimmy, talk us through the replay. What on earth happened here?
So Blažan came for the cutback on Duval there, just hit the throttle and touched the side of him on the exit. Blažan, you threw that away, my friend. You had all the space in the world, but he just accelerated into the side of Duval, knocked both of them round. He definitely came out the loser in that scenario.
Well, I tell you what, Scoot's not going to do bad in all of this. He's now up to 2nd place, and Williams is into 3rd place. Williams into 3rd place. Then we have Keisler, of course, in 4th. Duval. I tell you what, Scoot and Williams, fantastic stuff. There is the leaderboard for you, but that was how it is before this race started. And there we go, under investigation, Duval and Blažan. That is not the live leaderboard, by the way. We will bring you that when me and Jimmy do the maths, but no surprise, under investigation.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either there. If I were a steward, I'd be handing a penalty to Blažan, but I'm not, so I won't go too deeply into that. But yes, Ed Williams here, the winner in this situation. He was running down in about 6th position. Now he's up to 3rd on the podium. So here again is that table of the positions as they stand at the moment. You see Ed Williams actually right at the bottom.
That was it before the grid.
So, sorry, at the moment, as in before, at the end. Sorry, I worded that incorrectly, but this is from the last race, so we haven't got the updates. These aren't on the fly leaderboard results, which is, should say. Here is Williams in that PlayStation liveried BMW, chasing down the Renault. Very interesting looking car, the Renault. Of course, is actually here today at the Nürburgring 24 hours, as are a lot of these cars in game. Really cool to go out onto the track to see these cars, then come back and play them on the game.
Yeah, of course, we got to go out on the grid and do a grid walk, so look out for that on the Gran Turismo and PlayStation channels. But, well, how do the points stand now? I'll tell you what, Mangano, he's going to win. Mangano, I think, can win this overall. So at the moment, Mangano, he scores 24 points. Duval scores, let's have a look, he will score...
Oh, Shoot got a little bit sideways there. I nearly dropped my drink in excitement.
Did you mean the Fraser or the driver?
Sorry, sorry. Okay, let's back that back down again, because we're going to start going into a fiddle blast. But there's Williams there, trying to make a make opportunity there of Scoot going wide. And there is a penalty. Blažan has been given a driving penalty of 1 second. And that was for the contact there with Duval. We have that confirmation from the steward. So that is pretty much Blažan over now. He's out.
The Nations Cup winner, leader, is out of this race. I say winner, he was the leader in the points coming into this, but he's thrown away any chance of winning the Nations Cup, and he's going to be absolutely devastated. Patrick Blažan, as you can see from the graphic, he was leading coming into this race. He's now out. Now Duval and Mangano, the gap between them 8 points. Mangano is currently going to score 24 points, and I think Duval is going to score 14. So Mangano is your leader, effectively.
I can hear the cogs in your brain turning there, Chris, trying to work out there your sheet of paper. But yes, Mangano there.
My maths isn't very good.
Possibly a bit of an outsider, actually, in this for this event, is now looking at winning the Nations Cup. The big thing, he's come all the way throughout 30 drivers. Of course, we might be getting ahead of ourselves. We are not yet even halfway through this race here. Still lots of racing to go. And then shoot again. He's having big troubles in that Renault.
Yeah, Angelo Scoot here. He's got a lot of pressure from Ed Williams to deal with, who dives down the inside. Here comes Ed Williams, and Williams into second place, but Scoot seems to get the better exit there, Jimmy.
See the difference there as Williams left Scoot room on the outside and didn't dive into him, which is why he's not getting a penalty at this point. But it looks like the Williams might have the faster car under him at the moment. Maybe Tyware starting to get the better of Scoot again on the way in. You see the car a little bit twitchy on the entry there, so car a bit oversteery, and Williams seems to have a bit of a planted car in comparison. Of course, that BMW is a front-engine rear-wheel drive car, so more prone to understeer than oversteer. And here comes Scoot then, coming down to the left. So it goes up to the inside. That's how you do it pretty much. But the thing is, you can run around the outsides of the banking, take speed up to the left-hander, and then take the place back.
Well, there we go. That's I guess the brilliant thing about that corner. You can be all the way down the inside, but you haven't completed the move just yet. It's a very fascinating corner to watch.
I want to very quickly point out that we do have one pit stop, and that's Grady. He's already taken the pit stop.
That is a very good spot.
At this point, so maybe he's trying something a bit different. He has been off the pace. He's down in 9th position at the moment, so maybe we'll see something a little bit different from him here.
He's got to do something, isn't he? He's got to just try and go to the end.
Pretty much. He has to just try and do some sort of amazing strategy call. Blazan, of course, still yet to serve his penalty in 6th position. So Deval needs to try and come back up the order. And if anyone can do it, it is Deval. He has been fast all week here, and he knows that he is in contention for this cup. But he's got a couple of guys standing his way. Kaiser, Williams, Scoot, and of course Mangano at the top of the field.
Let's just get, in fact, Deval's on 12 points at the moment. Now, the difference we said between them was 9 points, didn't we? In fact, it was 8 points between Mangano and Deval. It's 8 points between 1st and 3rd. However, if Deval finishes 3rd, Mangano will win the Nations Cup on countback because he is ahead in this race. So, effectively, Deval has to go from 5th to 2nd now if he wants to take the win. So here is the battle for 2nd. Kaiser's just behind. Deval is about, what, 3 seconds back?
Yeah, 3-4 seconds back, so it's not impossible, of course. We've seen the pace, but as a very famous commentator once said, catching someone is one thing, getting past is quite another.
Yeah, there we go. It is indeed, and there we can see Deval on one of our screens as a pit. Mangano in.
So this is pivotal for the race. He's coming exactly at the halfway point, which says to me, one stop.
One stop race, yeah. And Deval's in as well.
So this again,
they're
all coming in. So it's all up to the pit crew now. I've got to say to Mangano's pit crew, they are really very well colour coordinated with the car, but we'll let them off for that as they're doing good work out there at the moment. So yeah, Blajan in, of course, to serve his penalty. He would not be able to do any work to the car in that point, so that's pretty much him out of contention here. And look who is up in 2nd place, Chris Grady.
Martin Grady, well, that was the strategy I think he was going for. And Grady's into 2nd, but for how long? Oh, Deval's down to 7th. How is that happening? Well, of course, a couple of people haven't stopped. But Deval, I don't think he's had the best of stops to me there. He's got Williams now just ahead. So, Deval has to pass 3. Has there been a change of lead, I wonder?
Well, yeah, Blajan needs to come in for it. He hasn't come in yet for his stop or his penalty. I'm saying that Grady is now our leader.
What about Scoot?
Yeah, Scoot has jumped Mangano as well. The thing is, these guys, Grady is ahead of them now. He's ahead of them on track. They have the same pit stops. Is this a masterstroke by Grady?
Yeah, but this is going to change the lead effectively because Martin Grady, yes, he's out there, but
Chris, go back to your maths book, work out what's going on so we can give you guys information as well. But everything just keeps changing here.
I can tell you now, Mangano is going to score 14 points. Deval is going to score 8, which will mean Mangano wins. No, Deval would win. Yes, Deval will win by 1 point.
I will take your word on that.
Yes, no, that's correct. Because there's a 7-point difference between 8 points, sorry, between Deval and Mangano. At the moment, they're split by 7, so 1 point to Deval.
You know, I come here, of course, as a sim racer, as a YouTuber. That is my jam. This is my hobby right here, and I have been so impressed by this series. And you know, you might think, oh, he's a commentator. Of course, he's going to say that. But I've been here, and I've been. Can you not hear the genuine excitement and passion in this voice for this sort of racing? And this is simulated. If you can get this simulated for a fraction of the price of doing it in real life. And I'll finish my rambling as Blajan comes into the pits of service penalty.
Well, just to pick up what you said, this is my first time commentating sim racing. I've got to say I'm hooked on it now. It is absolutely fascinating to watch, and just how talented the drivers are. We've been having to go in the sims ourselves, and certainly, well, for me, I've been figuring out exactly how tough it is. So we've all had one stop. Martin Grady is the leader. He's played an absolutely amazing tactic there, Grady. He now leads the race. Scoot is second, Mangano is third. Now, Grady, how much earlier did he come in comparison to the rest?
I want to say about a lap earlier, so he's going to be on older tyres. And we did have a chat with him earlier about the Lamborghini. He said he found it to be very, very oversteery. So what does that mean? That means tyre wear. So you come in earlier on your tyres, it's going to be really struggling at the end. And it seems that he might have a bit of a lack of pace anywhere at this point, though he is holding Scooter about a second. So we'll see what the Dutchman can do, but it's all on Grady right now. He cannot win this competition at the moment from what I can see on our points chart, but he can get the big win, the finale win, and that'll be something for him.
Well, I think this result for Scoot as well could possibly put him near the podium. I think he's battling for about 4th place. I think Blajan may be able to hold on to a podium if he can stay where he is or indeed move forward. But there is Grady, and he's being caught very quickly. I think Scoot won't take very long to go past. I'll tell you what, Scoot, he's just got quicker and quicker and quicker. His confidence has grown as this weekend has gone on. And of course, Thursday, let's look back at the semi-finals. He sneaked through out of the last corner, the last lap. Coming out of the last corner, Scoot just about, but was there a bit of contact there with Grady? Was there contact there with Grady?
This could be interesting, but look, Mangano there already passed as well, and now onto the back of Scoot. We'll get back to what we were saying in just a minute. Last corner then coming on to, onto lap 13. This will be, here's a replay of what happened. So Grady goes a little bit wide here. Scoot sees the opportunity, goes up the inside. No, it's Grady makes a mistake, gets a little bit loose. Scoot has nowhere to go, and that's it. There's the oversteer coming into play. That's what we were talking about a bit earlier on.
Yeah, Mangano's now taking the lead, by the way. So Deval's task to take this win gets a little bit tougher, and he's been passed by Ed Williams. So Deval has been passed by Ed Williams. It's completely falling apart for him. Mangano at this moment in time will be your comfortable winner, but he's got Scoot behind him, he's got Grady, and he's got Keisler. So Deval, it's sort of out of his hands now in a way. He's just got to hope that some of these guys can challenge Mangano and drop him down the order. As we can see further back, Deval is just making a move on Williams.
Yes, yeah, here's a replay of that move at T1. Mangano going up the inside of Scoot, getting it done nice and easy. He just seems in his element in that Subaru. Very interesting looking car. Look at the winglets and the wheel arches and that thing. Again, looks like it's gone through a certain auto part shop, but it does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is a fascinating car, isn't it? It's really, really nice. And I imagine Mangano will be a fan of it as well if he isn't already by the time he leaves this race, because he's driving it to perfection. Oh, Grady, there's that oversteer we were talking about from the Huracan once again. Keisler in the 911 just behind, and he's going to have to try and get past Grady as quickly as he can. Let's see, he'll probably do it to the next corner. Grady is looking in his mirrors, so he's thinking about trying to fight in, but if I were Grady, I'd just let him go, to be honest.
I think Grady needs to fight for every position, actually. I'll come across you there and say that he doesn't have to pit again. I don't think he does anyway. He's fighting for as many points as possible. He doesn't care about anyone else's race.
Yeah, but Deval is 5 seconds back, so damage limitation. No, if you just let Keisler go through, it's damage limitation done. As there, I think this argument will end now anyway, because Keisler is just going to go down the inside and take the place.
Grady was doing his best to hold back the fin there, but was that contact on the way through? Did I see a little bit of a bump, or was that just Lamborghini having a little bit of a moment there?
I think Grady turned in, and and found the door firmly shut by Kaiser.
You have to say though, it was worth a go, I think, for Grady. It's not, the strategy hasn't worked out. He's going to be going backwards now, saying that it's already during the passing with Kaiser. He has lost about a second to Duval behind, who's coming back up for the grid. Blajan actually gaining as well. There is a investigation between Duval and Williams going on. Now,
oh dear.
I don't think we saw that on screen.
No, but there is Duval now. We're picking him up right now.
So this, if there's a penalty given to Duval, if Duval is at fault here, that will be the end for him.
Yeah, effectively. There was the leaderboard, by the way, when we started the race once again. Duval was second and may about just stay there. Oh no!
There it is.
Stop penalty for Anthony Duval. I can't believe it. Anthony Duval has picked up a pit stop penalty, and I think, Jimmy, you know why.
Penalty is for causing a collision. The stewards are swift to take action on the Frenchman and have effectively ended his opportunity, his chance to take the nation's final. He will be absolutely distraught with that decision.
Well, now this has just turned things on its head even further. Now we have to try and work out exactly who is where at this current moment in time. So Mangano, he is. Let's have a look.
I'll tell you what, Chris. I'll let you have a little read through. I'll let you have a little read through the results, and I'll cover you for now. He's going to just try and work out what's going on in this race. It just keeps changing. Scoot looks to the outside of Mangano. It's not over for the win yet. Looks to the outside. Mangano covers it off, takes the line, and Scoot has to wait for another opportunity. It is Subaru versus Renault, of course. There is a Subaru and a Renault out there in the real world today, so great to see these cars in Gran Turismo Sport as well. And there is Duval, of course, with the penalty symbol above his head, letting you guys know that he has to come in to serve his penalty. Now Blajan is in 6th. He will inherit 5th position after this, after Duval comes into the pit lane. Will that make a difference? Of course, he isn't too far behind Williams either. So this could maybe be a resurgence here for Blajan. Mangano, of course, at the moment, looks like he's going to be the one to take the win here. But Scoot is all over the back of the Italian. Comes now to the left hand, and now the long run down to this awesome banked corner just through the right here. Now looking to the distance, as you can see from this great view here, just looking at the Michelin tyres. Look down now, there is the banked corner. Look at that, it's like a roller coaster. Mangano to the outside, it's going to be a late apex. Try and carry as much speed as possible. Concentration on Scoot's face is paramount, but Keisler in the background as well. This race is developing all the time.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. Now, I've got a lot of the points worked out, but I don't want to quite work out Anthony Duval's just yet. However, it is a lot closer between Mangano and Blajan than I first thought. It is extremely close. I'm telling you, Mangano, Duval may have that penalty. Mangano is not safe yet. Believe me. Now, when Duval comes in, I believe we could be in a tie situation.
I see. Okay, so
because
yeah,
Mangano is going to add 24 points to his 19 to take him to 43, and then of course Blajan, he's adding.
In comes Duval. Duval comes into certain penalty. So here we go.
Let's
Williams
work out where he is.
Goes up into 4th. Blajan into 5th. Now Blajan is only about half a second now behind Williams. Now, past Williams is a big gap up to 3rd place, but at this point, Blajan looks like his best possible result will be 4th.
Right, Duval has come out in 7th.
But surely he owes a stop, Chris. Surely he owes a stop. He's done the penalty, but he's not, I don't think, done tyres or fuel. Maybe he's going completely conservative and trying to just no-stop it.
Okay, here, do you want to find out some points? Right, at this moment in time, Mangano in the lead has 43 points. Blajan in 5th place has 41 points. Anthony Duval has 35 points. Angelo Scoot has 34. So if he can get past Mangano, he will take 3rd place. It will also mean Mangano is tied on points with Blajan.
And here it is, Scoot. Look how close he is to the Italian again, up into the slipstream.
Here we go.
Mangano goes defensive. We've not seen the outside work round here, but Scoot is going to try it a lot faster into the banked right-hander. Doesn't quite get it done. The cutback, no. He has to speed up the hill though. Mangano goes to the left. I don't think this is going to work, Scoot.
No, well, Scoot, I tell you what, he's fighting for a podium, and Kimmo Kaiser's in that fight as well. This is going to be very, very... I tell you what, Mangano, if he loses 2 places, that I think that could be it, unfortunately. We'll have to just have a wait and see.
Kaiser is there. They are both looking feisty. I think the pressure is now starting to get to Mangano. He's just dipping a wheel onto the grass.
He can't finish third. He can't. Second is fine.
Here comes
third is not good for Mangano. He has to be very, very careful. So this is a very, very interesting situation.
Wow.
We have developing the Nations Cup final. The 2 leaders on track are battling for the lead overall, but this battle is having a huge effect on the overall points. So here we go in towards turn number 1 for the 17th time. Mangano's just going to try and keep a tight exit.
Will he get a good run out of it? No. I think Scoot tried to do the cutback, but Mangano just covered him off by being slow on the apex, which is a really great move. Look how many issues he's having now getting through. I think he's really starting to suffer with a bit of tyre wear.
Well, this is fascinating. Now Blashan, oh well, he's only what, 4/10 behind Williams. Now if he gets into that place, that will put him tied on points with Mangano, meaning Mangano will have to win the race.
Wow. Okay, so I think this is a pretty decent finale we've got here, guys. If you agree, there's over 1,200 of you watching right now. Make sure to let us know in the comments, hit the like button, etc. Let us know if you want to see more stuff like this from Gran Turismo, and maybe we'll get it, but you have to ask for it. Anyway, we have Kaiser right up. He's just waiting for something to go wrong here, and here comes Scoot again.
I can see Patrick Blashan, by the way. He's right on Ed Williams, but here comes Scoot down the outside of Mangano. Is he going to destroy Mangano's chances of taking the Nations Cup? Oh, let's see. Yes, he is. Scoot's got into the lead. Scoot's on the podium. Scoot is on the podium. Oh, and Kaiser's coming down the inside. Oh, they're almost 3 wide. And Mangano at the moment is not going to win the Nations Cup. That is going to go to Blashan. Kaiser on the grass. They're 3 wide. Mangano, though, he's going to take the lead back. Mangano going for the lead. Oh, contact. Oh, and Mangano's taking the lead back. Mangano's taking the lead back. Oh, I can't believe this. So he's back into the lead. And by the way, Blashan is into 4th. So if Mangano does not win this race, Blashan is champion. That is how it is.
Yeah, Mangano now has to stay in the lead. We come on to lap 18. Only 2 laps remaining here at the Majori circuit, but Kimmo Kaiser and Schutt behind have something to say about this championship decider. Scoot looking up the inside of Kaiser, not quite close enough for that. Look at the car squirm on throttle. These tyres are done, Chris.
Oh, this is absolutely fascinating. I didn't think it would end like this with our leader at the moment in 1st and the guy chasing in 4th in the Nations Cup overall. At the moment, I must remind you that with Mangano, of course, in the lead and Blashan in 4th, we believe that means they are tied on points, which would mean Mangano would win on countback. I'm just going to double confirm that for you. So Blashan at the moment will score 14 points, which, yes, will indeed put him tied on points. So he is tied on points with Mangano. Mangano's going to win on countback, everyone. That's how it's going to end by our maths. Of course, that is our maths if it's correct.
And look, Kaiser has something to say about our maths. He doesn't like that. He goes to the outside. Now we're running down again to that back left-hander. Right-hander, sorry. Kimmo's been very fast down here. Here we go, the roller coaster once more. Looks to the outside. Mangano's got the line, though. Scoot, of course, in the background, very fast through there. Is Scoot going to take second back? No. Kaiser was a bit weak through there. Mangano pulled out a tiny bit of a gap, a small bit of breathing room, but just like that, it's gone again.
Scoot's tyres look shot to me, unless he's just trying to regather his thoughts ever so slightly. But Mangano has got to keep Kaiser at bay if he wants to win overall here. He has to keep him at bay. Oh, but he's running a bit wide. Get back across to cover it off, Mangano. Giorgio Mangano is under serious amounts of pressure here from Kimmo Kaiser then. They're going to go on to the penultimate lap, Jimmy. What's going to be going through his head now?
I I don't want to think about it. I mean, he looks cool there. He's got his sunglasses, but I can tell you his heart is beating at 140 BPM or more. Here comes Kaiser looking to the outside. Scoot might have a move up the inside.
Yes! Oh no!
Look at the mid-corner speed from Kaiser.
Mangano almost tagged into a spin there. Oh well, that was fascinating stuff there. Kaiser almost going into the back of Mangano. I think he did just enough to get away with it.
And may I remind you guys that this is the culmination of this whole event. It's all come down to this. It's come down to Mangano. He has to hold the lead. But Kaiser and Scoot are both very fast. He's done well so far, but he has an apple. Kaiser
he's left the door open! He's left the door open, and no! Kaiser can't go through. Oh, well, 11.5 to go. Mangano hasn't got much more to hold on now as they head down through the left-hand and downhill they go. Mangano then, at the moment, as we said, is tied on points with Patrick Blajan, but on countback, Patrick Blajan will lose out as Mangano is the one ahead on track.
Kaiser is so strong through this part before the long run down to the roller coaster. I'm going to refer to it now. He's going to pull past actually on track, but he'll be on the outside. That's not the place you want to be. So Kimo Kaiser pulls into lead for a second.
He's got the run this time, does he? No. He's got to change his tactics, Jimmy.
He's looking to the inside. He's looking to the inside there, but it was denied. Mangano actually changed his line. Interesting to see what the stewards think of that. That's what I saw at least. Now Kaiser, look how aggressive this spin is being. Looks to the inside. This might be it.
Here it comes.
No. Yes. No. Oh wow.
Oh, there comes Scoot. Scoot. Oh, there we go. Scoot trying to go into second place, and Kaiser's gonna. Oh, and that could be it.
That could be it.
Mangano's got it. Oh, they've got mine again. Oh, Kimo Kaiser going into the side of Angelo Scoot, and I think that is it. Replay, Jimmy.
Kaiser getting onto the grass, trying too hard. Scoot's just taking his line. He's an innocent bystander and all that. Kaiser just shoots, or I say shoots Scoot off onto the grass, shall I say. And that is that. But this could still happen. It's 1.6 seconds down the gap to make up. If Mangano finishes this lap where he is champion. He will win the Nations Cup. Scoot and Kaiser now under investigation. I wonder if we're going to get anything from that, it being so late in the race. Blajan there still in fourth. He's done pretty much all he can do. Saying that now, he's now only 2 seconds behind Scoot. So if there's another mistake, he might move up to third.
Ladies and gentlemen watching, picture this. 3 races, we've had the semi-finals, then we've had 3 races on the final lap of the final race where we have double points up for grab. Mangano is tied on points with Blajan, but because Mangano is ahead in this race, he is going to become champion. You can't ask for much more than that at the first Gran Turismo World Tour event. It's been absolutely fascinating to watch, and it looks as if the Italian has got this one. All he's got to do, Jimmy, is keep it on track.
He's just had the done with this pressure. I'm sure he'll know now there's pressure. Here is Blajan. He's falling back from Scoot, so nothing that he can do at this point. Kaiser, of course, there he is in second. He was the protagonist, really. I say he was the one that caused the big incident that essentially gifted Mangano this series, but he's still got to get to the end. There is Scoot, there is Kaiser, there is Mangano at the end of the field. You see Scoot just shaking his head a little bit there. He knows what's happened. He's not happy with what's happened there.
He's not happy with Kimo at all, is he?
No.
And I think he has a reason to be. But, well, there's only a matter of corners to go now. And Mangano, I think, is going to take the win here. Tied on points with Patrick Blajan. But on countback, Mangano is going to take the overall win then as we come up towards the last corner. He has driven a fantastic set of races, and Mangano comes out the last corner, and on countback, Mangano takes the win. Fantastic drive from him. Mangano wins. Second place go to Kimo Kaiser, third to Angelo Scoot, fourth to Patrick Blajan. Provisional result is Mangano wins on countback, Blajan fourth place.
I can't help but think Blajan was his.
Oh my God! Oh
no!
Blajan's won! Blajan's won it!
Has he?
5-second penalty to Scoot. Has he won it?
We need the results. We need to see the results. We don't know.
I
Just hand over the race director telling us.
I think Blajan's won this. Kaiser's been given a penalty, and I think that means Patrick Blajan has won. We need the results to update on us, but Mangano did all he could. But we think Patrick Blajan has won this. 5-second penalty for Kimo Kaisler.
Let's wait till we get official confirmation. And Blajan fourth. He needs third. He needs third. We'll wait.
We need to wait for but we believe Blajan has actually won it with a penalty going the way of Kimo Kaisler. What a race. All we can say about that is that man there, whether he wins or not, he has something to be very proud with. Mangino has driven superbly in this race. He takes race 4 victory, whatever happens, and he'll be on the podium. Whether he takes overall race victory is now being decided by the stewards because Kimo Kaisler is under investigation. But I believe we are now going to hear from the Italian himself with Mazza.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right here we have the winner of the final race, Giorgio Mangano. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel great.
And have you done some math already? Do you know how the final result is?
No, I don't.
And I can tell you, I can't tell you actually, because there's so many math to do that we already congratulate you for the win of the final race right now. How does it feel?
It feels great. I had to defend because my car wasn't very fast on a straight, so I enjoyed it.
You did that pretty well. So congrats and big applause for Mr. Mangano right now. Guys, we still have to wait for some decisions and have to do some math, but we'll be back in a few seconds after some clips.
We're Team UK, and we're here at the Gran Turismo live event.
Hi, I'm Matthew Thomas. I'm 22 from Preston in England.
I'm Tom, I'm 23. I'm from Bath in England.
Hello, I'm Martin Grady, I'm 28.
My name's Lewis Bentley, known on PSN as McLaren 6.
Hi, I'm Edward Williams. I'm 19 years old, and I'm from Lincolnshire in the UK.
Gran Turismo is what I'd describe as my main hobby at the moment.
It's a very important place in my life, Gran Turismo.
It's my first time doing this sort of event, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Race fair, race clean.
My name is Manuel. I'm 23 years old. I consider me fast, more or less, and fair play, always.
My name is Bruno Ferreira. I'm 34 years old, and I come from Portugal. I am a bit aggressive driver. I need to be more cautious regarding my surroundings. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Philip Nicolai. I'm from Luxembourg and I'm 21 years old. Being here at the Nürburgring is absolutely awesome for me, and being here with the Gran Turismo family is a big honor for me.
I'm Nick. I'm from Belgium. I'm 23 years old and I come from Scherpenheuvel. Yeah, very calm and safe driver, I think. I don't take too many risks, and yeah.
I'm Kamil. I'm 23 years old from Warsaw, Poland. I think I'm an aggressive driver. I really like to be close to the other players.
I run for Germany. Of course for Germany.
My name is Michael. I'm from Nürnberg, Germany, and I'm very happy to be here.
My name is Patrick. I come from Riedberg-Fahrensel.
Hi, my name is Kevin Schlick. I'm 33 years old, came from Bottrop.
I'm Tarek. I come from Berlin and I'm 29 years old.
I'm now at the beginning. I'm a GT Sport driver.
The secret is to train very often and to try to race fair but hard.
I was very surprised, and I feel really honored to be part of this.
I'm proud to be a part of this year.
I'm Patrick Blajan, 20 years old, from Budapest, Hungary. I played for 4 years. I like to compete on a high level.
Hola, buenas. Soy Francisco Jiménez Sevilla. Vivo en Valencia, España. Tengo 35 años.
Hello, I'm Uroš Rašić. I'm 34 years old and coming from Slovenia.
It's a great achievement for me to be included in this. Very happy to be a part of it, hoping for a good result as well.
Hi, my name is Adrian Mayor. I'm from Bilbao, from Spain. And try to learn about how to race, seeing other players, and try to improve myself.
My name is Markus Könönen from Finland, from Hämeenlinna, 39 years old.
Hi, I'm Kimmo from Finland and 30 years old, from Tampere. Just try to make a clean race. I know that I'm quick enough, so just need to do my best.
Keep going, keep practicing, go fast.
Right, well, as we still wait for confirmation of the results, Jimmy, let's just reflect on what happened there. Now, we believe there's a penalty going out to Keisler. We just don't know how long that penalty is yet. So it depends on the extension of the penalty. If it is a 5-second penalty, then we'd imagine Blažan would win again. But however, if it is, say, only a 3-second penalty, then Mangiano will hold on. But first of all, the penalty. Was it deserved? If it happens, is it deserved?
Yeah, I think personally that he's responsible for his car. If he cannot control his car and he hits somebody else and forces him off, it's still his fault. That's a penalty in my eyes. I don't know how deserving, what penalty you'd give him. That's a job for the stewards, of course, but I would say yes, penalty. You are responsible for your car.
I think that's well said, Jimmy. As you can see on screen, here we are, myself and Jimmy. Hello, it's getting very late here now, actually, so thanks to anyone who may be in the same time as us and has stayed up to watch this. Indeed, wherever you are watching from, thank you for watching. It's been our pleasure to bring the coverage. It's been a very easy job because the drivers have just put on a fantastic show for us. And Jimmy, they've made it quite straightforward. But I know you're getting a lot of comments coming in. Any questions being asked other than Blažan or which of the two are winners? We'll have a look through the comments now as we have a break.
Peggy 3.
車そのものに興味を持ったのはおそらく2歳とか3歳とかね、その頃でしょう。でその頃には街を走っている車の名前全部言えましたからね。97年当時のグランツーリスモの開発の終盤というのは自分たちが世界的に見てもねすごい仕事をしてるんじゃないかっていう手応えが日に日に増していって、でとにかくパーフェクトなものを出したい、もうでこれが出せれば死んでもいいと思ってね作ってましたね。
最初の東京ゲームショウで、最初のグランツーリスモを見た時に本当になんだこれと、こんなリアルな車が、を操作したレースゲームがこの世に本当にあるのかってすごい感動したのを今でも覚えてます。で、いわゆる技術的に環境マッピングって言って、そのボディとかガラスとかに周りの環境がちゃんと映し込まれてるっていう CG の表現を、リアルタイムのゲームの中でやってるのも多分初めてだったと思いますし、実際車が走ってその路面にタイヤが設置してるプログラムっていうのを相当力入れて開発したみたいなんで、そういうディテールですね。日本人が得意なクラフトマンシップ的なその職人的な、ディテールの追求みたいなところは、僕らが作ってるゲームにも生かしていきたいと思ってますね。
I was responsible for the team for the very first Gran Turismo as a co-producer with Kazunori. His personality is like I call the ultimate optimist. He had the always, we can do it kind of mentality. He pushed the team and the members at the very, very last minute, and he was very, very good at motivating and convincing them that something he set out as a very high-level target to make them believe that it's achievable. So that produced really amazing graphics on PlayStation 1.
グランツーリスモがこれまで20年間続けてこれたのは、本当にそれは支えてくださっているファンの皆さんがいたからですよね。でそれはすごく幸運なことだと思う。僕自身の人生を振り返ってみてもね、もう人生の半分以上グランツーリスモを作ってるんですね。先ほども申し上げた通り、グランツーリスモの制作そのものがすごく楽しいから僕らが飽きることなく続けられたということと、あと何よりこの20年間グランツーリスモを支えてくださったユーザーの皆さんがいたということですね。その2つが揃わないと20年も同じことを続けることはできないですよね。
Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing and crazy situation. I guess this is the kind of excitement we can expect to come up with Gran Turismo, FIA certified Gran Turismo championships soon, starting in June. And now we're going to have the winners ceremony. There has been a 3-second penalty on Kaisler, so everything was a lot of math to do, but now we know who won this trophy at least. And I'd like to get the racers to come over here, of course, and I'm going to ask Kazunori Yamauchi to join us, just to hand over the trophies, of course. Good to have you here again. Thank you so much. Okay. And I think we're ready to go. In the third place, big applause for Anthony Duval. Anthony, all the best. There's your place. And then we had a very, very special situation because same points for two races. But in the end, it decided the last race. So the second place goes to Patrick Blazard. Second place for you, mate. And before we come to the first place, I'd like to introduce one more person, a very important person. It is Olivier Volieri from Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer, the official timekeeper of Gran Turismo Sport. Please, big applause for this guy, because he brings the prize for the winner, which is actually a super nice Tag Heuer watch. Oh man, could you tell us a bit about that?
This is the connected watch, the very last one we sorted, and we are very proud and happy to offer this beautiful watch to the winner of this very first FIA Gran Turismo Championship.
Yes, it's the kickoff to the championship, not already connected to it, but we have a winner actually. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, your biggest applause of the night for Mr. Giorgio Mangano. There you go. This is yours. And this is your watch, actually.
Crazy.
Yamauchi-san, may I ask you to come over for 1 second again? Yes. There's one last question for the end of this awesome weekend. So, how do you feel with this first competition? Are you happy with it?
ですね、今回ね、僕らも、初めて、グランツーリスモスポーツの、オフィシャルなライブイベントをやるということで、すごくたくさんの課題をクリアする必要があったんですね。で、僕らが FIA の皆さんと新しいモータースポーツを作る、新しい時代を作るっていうことを決めてから、ちょうど5年経っています。で、ここまで来るのに5年かかりました。これで終わりではないですね。今日もいろんな課題が見えてきました。ですから今後ももっともっといいグランツーリスモを作っていきたいと思います。
Okay, we're waiting for the translation. Take your time.
So this time, having actually running this first official event for Gran Turismo Sport, we had a lot of things that we had to clear to get to this point. When we first decided that we would be starting and working on a new motorsport with the FIA, that was 5 years ago, and it took us that long to get where we're at now. And having seen the events, there are still things that we need to work on. There's still things to improve, but I think in the end, we're going to have a much, much better Gran Turismo.
もう一言言わせてください。やっぱりすごいドライバーだと思います。で、すごいレースだったと思います。ありがとうございます。
And one last thing, you guys are incredible drivers, and that was an incredible race. Thank you very, very much.
Guys, no more words to say except thank you to the audience right here at the Nürburgring. Thank you all over the streams, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. Thank you to Polyphony Digital and to PlayStation, of course, for making all this possible at least. And huge thank you to all our 30 Gran Turismo drivers. Of course, to the winners. Big applause, everyone. That's from me for tonight. Thank you. All the best.
Well, that is the final applause then for the winner, Giorgio Mangano there, Jimmy. A fantastic performance from him. He had to deal with a lot of pressure, didn't he, right at the end there, and I think he deserved the win.
Definitely. I mean, it was just an all-round solid weekend from Mangano. We said before, maybe not the fastest, but in that race, proved us all wrong. Dealt with pressure like an absolute expert. In other people's shoes, that they may have thrown that away, but he kept cool, stayed in the lead, and I can't believe it came down to a draw, Chris.
I know.
A draw at the end of all this.
I mean, it was like one of the other commentators said to us, every race has gone down to the last lap, and this being points, it went down to the last lap again. So you couldn't ask for much more than that. I think sim racing has been shown in a tremendous light here. It is fantastic to watch. The drivers are very, very talented. The racing, overall, I'd say is clean and fair racing. We obviously get the odd incident, that's motor racing. But there's been a massive interest surrounding Gran Turismo this weekend.
I would just like to say, I sort of touched on it during the race actually, about being a sim racer and being here in this capacity. And there may have been a few hiccups from the event, of course, here and there, but let me just remind you guys, this is the first time Gran Turismo has ever done anything like this, ever. And the crowd, it's drawn both in person. Of course, you guys can't see it as much as we can see it. But literally in front of us now, hundreds of people, they were here to watch this event, to watch this final. And the reaction on the podium, fantastic as well. Of course, online we've had regularly over 1,500 viewers, 2,000 viewers yesterday watching. That sort of reach for a sim racing or an e-sport in racing they're the best numbers I've ever seen.
Oh, by far.
I really admire Gran Turismo for doing this and helping bring esports and racing into a broader audience.
You know, I've loved being part of it. I've loved commentating with you, Jimmy. It's been a fantastic weekend and a fantastic experience. And final thoughts, I guess, on the event before we wrap up?
Do it again, please. Do it again, please, Gran Turismo. This needs to happen again.
Well, on behalf of myself and Jimmy and the whole team here from the Nürburgring, thank you very much for tuning in. If you don't play Gran Turismo Sport already, I think you need to go and buy it now. Thanks again for watching. Have a good evening, everyone.